Yasha Allah.
Plantation, 9 to 5 be the time I was wasting. Man, I feel like I need a vacation, saving up for my resignation. Why I feel like my manager hating, ain't the one for no verbal castration. This government ain't giving reparation, we'll go to crime trying to fight the temptation.
Rejoice in tribulations, demonstrate patience in every situation, picking up the pieces to their heart restoration. People broken hearted and in need of salvation. We in captivity, we done lost our history, disconnected from his laws, now there's no integrity. Here's the book and let them see, because they dying in these streets, walking in darkness, and where the carcass is, the eagles be. Walking in darkness and where the carcass around us like vultures, murder on their mind when they approach us. Let your light shine, watch them scatter like roaches. Babylon falling cause we taking back our culture. Heal our land, Abba now, put us back in agriculture. This word burning them up, Romans is a flamethrower. We prophesy destruction, nukes coming, game over. International, continental, ballistic missile. Them bombs dropping like rain, no drizzle. The lake of fire make them sizzle, showing fruits of the spirit. We don't gather figs of thistles.
That's the dog, you know, so just like you were saying,
Hey, my name is Amani Bright Laws. I'm a travel business owner. My business is Always Shine Bright Travel, where we help you discover your next bright destination. I want to talk to you really quickly today about becoming a travel business owner. Listen, if your passion is traveling, if your passion is exploring the world, if your passion is wanting to travel and explore the world, then you should become a travel business owner, okay? I have 2 easy ways to get started. Less than 1 minute, okay? The first way, up here, our website, travelagentworkshop.com. And please use my sponsor ID, Always Shine Bright, okay? The second way is a text code. Text the word workshop to the number 281-767-9711. And again, reference my sponsor ID, Always Shine Bright, okay? Listen. The workshop is free. It's a free 3-day workshop, which gives you all the information on how to get started to become a travel business owner. Okay. Any questions that you have will get answered within that workshop. Okay. So let me meet you on the money making side of travel, where you can turn your passion into your paycheck.
Y'all know what time it is. It's your boy Chef D-Nail. Over here, guess who's cooking? Good cooking, good eating, good living. Y'all know how we do it every Sunday about this time, man. We're going to get straight to it. We got the chicken and dumplings, all right? We got the perch fish with the mac and cheese, with the yams, with the 5 cheese toast over here on the Texas side. And, of course, we got the world-famous turkey tips, all right? We also got, on this one, we got the greens with the turkey tails, and we got the spaghetti. You already know what time it is, man. Hit the link, 992-4737 is the phone number to place your order every Sunday. All right. And you can hit us up on the Cash App to make payments at Guess Who's Cooking, the number 2. All right. You can hit the www.guesswho'scooking on the World Wide Web. You can catch us on Facebook Marketplace under Guess Who's Cooking. And, of course, on TikTok, man, at Guess Who's Cooking. Come on down. Get your orders.
Give me shame, I give you peace from underneath. Give me mind and being light to reignite. Can you open up the doors to let me in? Can you open up the doors to let me in? You could put the heart inside, don't touch my head. As I sing the love inside from out my mouth. Tell me what you need to find. Tell me now. Tell me what you need to find. From what's really happening, all these heathens, they astonished. Look at the lights and look at the violence. Look at the weather, look at the power. They got spacecraft, no real pilot. They tryna break through when they wildin'. When the land break through, y'all gon' be silent. He coming back for who really solid. Surrounded by water in a dome that's solid. Glass jar, hard bars. I'm in predictions like Bart Simpson. Stop, mark, charge, shoot far down below. Protect your neck and protect your soul. We in a land where anything goes.
Far above your atlas, demons get no access. Evangelists, activists, and I do get active. Christianity, insanity, deserted like a cactus. Pricked by the Blix, automatic acrobatics. Make a heathen air dynamic, floating backwards. I carry iron like my son is a blacksmith. Heavenly realms, heavenly dwell in the Torah Milky Way on a galactical scale. Flow solar, hawk, polar, Yahweh soldier. With composure, stay sober, the world is over. When the prophets arrive, keep
Hey, shalom, 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 family.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. How about you, shalom? Shalom, shalom, family. All praise to how about Shemel Shai. So I had a bit of a situation. So right now I'm covering for the brother, Gabar Nawar, for a minute. All praise to how about Shemel Shai. We're back again with another Thursday class. It's been a great class throughout the week. You know, a lot of HOI classes. So tonight's lesson, we're going to touch on a bit on the exorcism of narcissism, right? And we're going to touch on the different people throughout the Bible that had these examples of exorcism of narcissism, things they was going through, you know, proudful, manipulative, boastful, cocky, disrespectful, jealousy. It's all going to touch on narcissism. God, God. Anything you want to say, Ak? Shakanya, before we start?
La.
God. All right, let's get Romans chapter 15 and verse number 4. Let's get Romans chapter 15 and let's get verse number 4. Touch on the exorcism or narcissism. Can't even say it right sometimes. Narcissism or narcissism. All right, so let's get Romans chapter 15 and verse number 4. And I'm going to also show y'all an example of what is narcissism. What is narcissism? God. All right, so let me share this on the screen real quick. This is touching on the word narcissism, right? Let me share this real quick. So we're gonna get Romans chapter 15 verse 4. And Shakanya, are you able to see that, King? What I got on the screen?
God.
Yeah,
I'm blowing the screen up.
All right, you good?
God.
All right, Con. So you can read that first, King. It's narcissism. You can read that description real quick first.
Narcissism is a personality trait characterized by excessive self-focus, a need for admiration, and lack of empathy for others. Definition and spectrum. Narcissism involves extreme self-involvement where a person prioritizes their own needs and desires over those of others. All impact of their behavior on people around them. It exists on a spectrum. Some individuals may display occasional narcissistic behaviors such as bragging or seeking attention, while others may have narcissistic personality disorder, NPD,
You got it.
a more severe and persistent condition that significantly impairs relationships and daily functioning.
Right. So that's the quick definition on narcissism. Person that's prideful, bragging, seeking attention. Everything is all about them, right? Me, instead of us or we, or moving as a team, right? And we always have that saying, teamwork makes the dream work. But a person that's a narcissist, everything revolves around them. They don't care about anybody else's feelings, anybody else's situation, or some sympathy about that person. They only care about themselves, right? And we as a people, we deal with that every day, right? One of the greatest examples of narcissism is a whole entire nation called Esau. God, they're an entire nation of narcissists. They don't give a damn about anybody else. They could rob from everybody, kill, steal. But when you bring their accounts that they have done against everybody against them, now they say let's all get along. Let's all be friends, right? It was all in the past, right? That's a clear, blatant, walking narcissist right now that we can identify as an entire nation, right? But let's get Romans chapter 15 and verse 4, King. Let's get that real quick.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Right. So everything throughout the scripture that we're going to bring out today is going to describe some of our people throughout the scriptures that had that same personality trait. Boastful, proud, disrespectful, self-centered. They didn't care about their people, their nation, right? Selfish, right? It was all about them. If they wasn't the captain or the leader of the ship or the priest of the congregation, they was willing to pull everybody down with them, right? And the issue with that, it ties into what? Exaltation, right? They exalt themselves. They put themselves above everybody else, above their own nation, right? They prideful, right? So we're going to show you some of the examples. Let's start with Proverbs chapter 16 and verse number 18. Let's go into a bit about pride. Once again, shalom, shalom, family. Let's go with Proverbs chapter 16 and let's go to verse number 18. You can bring it out when you got it, King.
Work on. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before he fall.
Right. So the Lord said, pride goeth before destruction, right? And a haughty spirit before the fall, right? Now, one of the examples we can use is Nebuchadnezzar, right? We're going to touch on Nebuchadnezzar, touch on Absalom, even Saul, Nabal, who was the rich man, that was the husband of Abigail, right? So we got so many examples. The Pharaoh in the book of Exodus, and all these people, they was dealing with pride, right? And pride goes before destruction, right? Now from there, let's get 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse number 1. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse number 1. Let me put it out on the screen.
This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1.
God, let's get that, King.
This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come.
Right. So this is all speaking about in the last days. Read on.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
Right. It says what?
Men shall be lovers of their own selves.
It says men shall be lovers of their own selves. That ties into narcissism. Right. They love themselves more than love Yahweh Shemel Shai. Right. It could be a man or a woman. Right. In general, it's all about me, instead of us and we as a team. They shall be lovers of their own selves. Read on.
Covetous, boisterous, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy.
Right? Unthankful and unholy. Now from there, let's get Proverbs chapter 21 and verse number 24. Let's get Proverbs chapter 21 and verse number 24. So this all tying into narcissism. Proud, boastful, right? Lover of their own selves, right? They don't care about their people. They don't care about their nation, right? They don't know how to operate as a squad, as a team together. This is all about a person with narcissism personality traits, right? Bring what you got, King.
Come to the Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 24. Proud and haughty scorner is his name, who dealeth in proud wrath.
Right. So a person has pride in what? Yeah, you can read it again, King.
Proud and a haughty scorner is his name, who dealeth in proud wrath.
Right. So proud and a haughty scorner is his name, who dealeth in proud and wrath. Right. So now from there, let's get John chapter 5 and verse number 44. Let's get John chapter 5 and verse number 44.
Let's look at John chapter 5 and verse 44. How can ye believe which receive honor one of another, and seek not the honor that cometh from God only?
Right. So that's a person that don't seek the honor that comes from the Lord, but what? Read on.
Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuses you, even Moses, in whom ye trust.
Right. So that's a person that only seeking honor from man. They don't seek honor from Yahweh Shemel Shai. Right. They care about the thoughts of men. They care about looking good in front of everybody. Right. Let me get Matthew chapter 15, King. And let's go to verse number 3.
The book of Matthew chapter 15 and verse 3. But he answered and said unto them, why do ye also transgress the commandments of God by your tradition?
Read on.
For God commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother, and he that curses father or mother, let him die the death.
Right. So it's a person that transgressed that. Slakia. Read verse 3 again. It's going to show right there.
Verse 3. But he answered and said unto them, why do ye also transgress the commandments of God by your tradition?
Right. So our people transgress the commandments of God by their traditions. That's telling you what? They don't follow in the ways of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Man create their own traditions and they go against the ways of God. That ties into pride. Right. That ties into I want to do my own thing. Right. Now, one of the first examples we can use, let's get Exodus chapter 5. and verse number 1. So we're going to go into Exodus chapter 5, and let's go to verse number 1.
The book of Exodus chapter 5 and verse number 1. And afterward Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, thus says the Lord God of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness.
All right, read on.
And Pharaoh said, who is the Lord, that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? I know not the Lord, neither will I let Israel go.
Right. So the Pharaoh in that situation, that's pride. Right? He's saying, who is the Lord that I shall let the children of Israel go? Right? I know not the Lord, neither will I let Israel go. So that was the Pharaoh. Now, the same Pharaoh, as you go throughout the book of Exodus, the Lord kept jacking him up, plague after plague after plague. And what was he doing? He was breaking his pride, right? Because he didn't want to acknowledge the Lord. Let's get another example. Let's get 2 Maccabees chapter 15. 2 Maccabees chapter 15, and we'll go to verse number 2.
It's the second Maccabees, correct?
Yeah, Khan.
15.
2 Maccabees, yeah. 2 Maccabees chapter 15, and let's go to verse number 2.
God. It's the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 15 and verse 2 in the Apocrypha. Nevertheless, the Jew that were compelled to go with him said, oh, destroy not so cruelly and barbarously, but give honor to that day, which he that seeth all things hath honored with holiness above all other days.
Right. So this is Israelites that was following in the ways of the Greeks, right? And Nicanor was forcing them to follow them, and they were scared of Nicanor. So while they were still scared of Nicanor, they still acknowledged that the Sabbath was a holy day. Read on.
Then the most ungracious wretch demanded, if there were a mighty one in heaven that had commanded the Sabbath day to be kept. And when they said, there is in heaven a living Lord and mighty, who commanded the seventh day to be kept.
And what they said.
Then said the other, and I also am mighty upon earth, and I command to take arms and to do the king's business.
Right, read that again. So hold on. So Nicanor was proud as hell, right? He said, I am also mighty on the earth, and I declare for you to do the king's business, right? Same thing happened with the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh was asking, who's the Lord? Who are the God you're talking about? Right? So these are people that they basically didn't acknowledge how about Shimon was shot. They didn't care. Right? Read on.
Verse 5. Then said the other, and I also am mighty upon earth, and I command to take arms and to do the king's business. Yet
right.
ye obtain.
Right. So he said, then said the other, I also am a mighty man on the earth. Now, this is a person that's willing to fight against the Lord, right? Same as with Nimrod. Nimrod was able to gather the people, the nations, to build a Tower of Babel so he can do what? So he can try to go against God, try to fight against the Lord. God? That's pride, right? That's a narcissist. It's all about you, right? Same thing with Pharaoh, the same thing with Nicanor in 2 Maccabees chapter 15. That's the personality traits of pride, which ties into narcissism, right? And think about it. You willing to go against your own maker. Like, that's crazy. The person that created you, you willing to fight against Yahweh Shemel Shah. God? Like, that's crazy. Let's get Romans chapter 9, King. Let's get Romans chapter 9, and let's get verse number... Romans chapter 9 and verse number 17.
Let's look at Romans chapter 9 and verse 17. For the scripture saith to Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up.
So the Lord said for Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised you up. Read on.
That I may shew my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
So the Lord put that pride in the Pharaoh, right? To build them up because like the saying goes, when it comes to man and pride, pride go before destruction. So he allowed him to become as wicked as possible to build them up and to have him thinking that he's the one that did all of this. He's the one that built Egypt. But remember, who were the slaves that was building Egypt?
Israel.
It was Israel. It was us, right? And a person that's dealing with narcissistic personality traits, they don't want to give no credit to anybody else. We built the whole place of Egypt in Exodus chapter 1. We don't get no recognition. We don't get no credit. Look what's going on in America today. Look with Donald Trump. All the stuff in the museums, all the artifacts that we had, all the things that we accomplished while in this godforsaken land. And this devil comes in talking about he want to get rid of this, get rid of that. He know we built the White House, gave us credit 4 years ago, but we don't get no reparations, right? Everything is me, 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 me. No acknowledgement, right? Using manipulated tactics. So the Lord said with the Pharaoh, I built him up, allowed him to grow in his pride. Read on.
18. Therefore, hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy. And
Right.
whom
So Khan, Slock it. So he built up Pharaoh so he could break him down and exalt his power all throughout the earth. To the point of what happened. Even the people of Rahab, the people of Rahab, the harlot, the one that helped Israel into the land, the two spies, even she said and acknowledged that her own people was scared to death. Their heart melted when they seen the children of Israel come to their land. Because now they finally acknowledge and realize that the God of Israel has a people, and the people he's only dealing with is only us, the Israelites. And he got us out of the hands of our captivity, of our enemy, which were the Egyptians. But it wasn't just all in one day, because we had to deal with a damn narcissist who was the Pharaoh. Huh? He showed no mercy, no sympathy. Everything was all about him. I created these great cities and all of this stuff. I'm a God on the earth, same as Nicanor. The same type of personalities. That's why the Lord said, pride goeth before destruction. Right? From there, let's get another one out. Now let's get 2 Samuel. Matter of fact, let's get 1 Samuel chapter 15. Let's get 1 Samuel chapter 15, King, and let's get verse number 1.
This is book of 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 1. Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord.
Right? So Samuel told them, hearken unto the voice of the word of the Lord. Right? Read on.
Thus says the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt.
Right,
now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have.
He said what?
And utterly destroy all that they have.
So the Lord said, go and destroy Amalek and everything that they have. Right? Read on.
And spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass.
Right. So the Lord gave Saul a commandment to go and smite and to wipe out all the Amalekites. Spare nobody, show no mercy. Right? Now, what happened with Saul? Read verse 9 now, Ak.
Verse 9. But Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep and of the oxen and of the fatlings and the lambs and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile, and refused that they destroy utterly.
Right. So now, Saul did what? He didn't follow the commandment of the Lord. He did the opposite. Khan? Now, from there, jump to verse number 17. So now what happened? Samuel got to remind Saul, like, bro, you forgot where you came from to how you became this mighty king? Right? Let's get 1 Samuel 15 and verse 17.
Verse 17. And Samuel said, when thou wast little in thine own sight, wast thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel? And the Lord anointed thee king over Israel.
So he's saying when Saul was young, right? He had a small family. Tribe of Benjamin had a small family. He was a mighty man, but he was of a low reputation. But the Lord chose him to become the first king of Israel, right? He said, I made you head of the tribes of the 12 tribes of Israel. Read on.
And the Lord sent thee on a journey and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed.
Right, read on.
Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord.
Right. So Samuel told him, you didn't obey the voice of the Lord. The Lord gave you clear instructions, and you have not obeyed the voice of the Lord. Read on.
And Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and have brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites.
So was Saul telling the truth or was he lying?
Lying.
What was he doing?
He was lying.
He was lying. And that's sinning.
God.
Right? He was lying. Because the Lord told him, clear as day, kill everybody. Don't bring nobody back, kill everybody. But he lied to the face of Samuel, said, I obeyed. He doubled down on it. I obeyed the voice of the Lord. What are you talking about? Right? He's not thinking of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel was shot. He's thinking about his own mindset, his own pleasures, his own will, his own way. Read on. Read verse 21.
Verse 21. But the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God in Gilgal.
Now, hold on. Hold on. So what did he do next?
And not only he took it, he sacrificed it.
Right. And not just that, he didn't take accountability. Who did he blame? He blamed the people.
Oh, the people.
You see what I'm saying? So this is a narcissist. He didn't take accountability. He's supposed to be the leader, lead by example, set the precedence. And instead, he messed up, went against the Lord. And instead of him taking the blame himself, he blamed the people. God? Read on.
And Samuel said, Hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices, as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice.
Right. So the Lord's saying to obey is better than sacrifice. Right? Read on.
And to hearken then the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and adultery.
And idolatry, right? Stubbornness. So a person that's a narcissist, they're very stubborn. It's all about their way. They don't care about everybody else, right? They're only stuck on their ways and what they think is right. Right? If you don't do it their way, you're going against their program or how they set things up and all of that stuff. Now you're the enemy. But the Lord gave them clear instructions and told them to go and wipe out the Amalekites. Don't leave nothing. Don't leave no damn sheep, no offerings, and none of this stuff. Shalom, shalom, family. Don't leave none of this stuff. So now, instead of him admitting I messed up, what did he do? He said, yeah, I kept the Lord's way. I kept the commandments. Right? And mind you, he's lying in the face of the person that anointed him, which was Samuel. God? So now he's blaming the people. So now what happens from there? Read verse number 24.
24. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord.
So hold on. After he done backed him into a corner, now he said, I've sinned. You had to put pressure on him. Now he finally admit. Why he didn't just say in the beginning? You see what I'm saying? Why you had to throw people under the bus? And it was your fault. God? Read on.
And thy words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice.
Read that again, King.
And Samuel said in Saul's verse 24, and Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord, and thy words, because I feared the people.
Because he what?
Because he feared the people.
Right. So a narcissist is a person, they only care about what everybody else pertaining to their perception of themselves. You see what I'm saying? They're about a perception, how everybody viewed them, right? And at the same time, he wanted to appease the people based on what they wanted over Yahweh Shemel Shai. So he wanted to keep himself in good graces with the people over the Lord. That's off his hell. God,
Yeah.
as long as he got a good reputation and he's keeping the people happy, whatever they want, good or bad, he's okay. But what happened? Samuel had to press him, and then he finally admitted, I committed a sin, and then also I feared the people. But he's supposed to fear the Lord. Khan?
Yeah.
Let me get Sirach chapter 23. Let me show you a quick example. Sirach chapter 23, and let's go to verse number, let's see. Sirach 23, and verse number, Sirach 23 and verse number 18.
This is the book of Sirach, and the Apocrypha of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 23 and verse 18. A man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me? I am compassed about with darkness. The walls cover me, and nobody seeth me.
All right. Read on.
What need I to fear? The Most High will not remember my sins.
Right. So it said men have to fear. It says the Most High won't remember their sins. Saul didn't acknowledge the Lord because he feared the people more. Right. Read on.
Such a man only fears the eyes of men.
Read that again, King.
Such a man only fears the eyes of men.
Such a man only fears the eyes of men. They're more, a narcissist is more worried about everybody else's perception of them. God.
Yeah.
So they could play the funk. They could hide themselves, mask themselves, play the role, act and all of this stuff. They only worry about a perception of them from everybody else. They don't fear the Lord. As long as they look good, it's all about them. When it's supposed to be about Yahweh Shemel Shai. Because remember, all of us that came into this truth, we are servants to Yahweh Shemel Shai. You see what I'm saying? Read on. Like the sister Amanyan say, Khan. So they only fear the eyes of men. They don't fear the Lord. Right? They scared about what people going to say about what they're doing and all of this stuff. They get caught. But they're not fearing Yahweh Shemel Shai got angels around you the whole time, watching everything you're doing. Read on.
19 from the top. Such a man only fears the eyes of men, and knows not that the eyes of the Lord are 10 times brighter than the sun.
You see, 10,000 times brighter than the sun. The Lord can see clearly everything you're doing and what you're thinking. And your thoughts. Saul thoughts was what? He gonna do all of this by himself. He could me. And then also the people came and pressed him, and he feared the people over the Lord. He didn't want to do what the Lord told him to do. Because he got too proud, he got too cocky. God? Let me show you another example. Let's get 1 Samuel chapter 18. 1 Samuel chapter 18. And let's get verse number 6.
This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 6. And it came to pass as they came, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistines, that the women came out of all cities of Israel, singing and dancing, to meet King Saul, with tabrets with joy, and with instruments of music.
Right. So these are the women and children. Everybody coming and singing and dancing to meet who?
Saul.
To meet King Saul. Right? Read on.
And the women answered one another as they played, and said, Saul has slain his thousands.
Hold that part out. Saul slain his thousands. Oh, he used to hearing that. All right. He loved that song. He ain't got no problem with it. If everybody praising him, he ain't got no problem with it. Everybody acknowledging Saul, he ain't got no problem with it. Yeah. You know, Big Saul, you already know I crossed the wall, right? I'm about to drop them all. Big Saul, right? King Saul, right? But hold on now, read on. Read
And
on.
said, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000.
Wait a minute, nigga. Hold on, man. This ain't part of the song.
10,000.
So Saul slayed his thousands and David killed his 10,000s. 10 times more than Saul. Hold on, man. This ain't part of the song. You see what I'm saying? Saul got no problem when they praising him and they giving him credit. He's the king, of course. But David is coming up new. He's coming up young. You see what I'm saying? He's the new gun. He's the newcomer. Right? But does that take away from all the accolades and all the things that Saul have done? No, right? That's like us today now. Like brothers and sisters, bro, the Lord gonna bring that second wind in. But that don't take away from all the things that brothers and sisters have already done. The leadership and the elders and all of that stuff. But listen, when the Lord bring that second wind in, it's to use to help. It's not used so you could get jealous and all of this stuff. It's to assist. Huh? Like Saul, he should have looked at it like, okay, David killing 10,000, I'm killing it. All right, come. Either I could try to catch up to his numbers or let me step back a little because he's doing most of the work and I'm the king. David is a soldier on the battlefield, same as with Saul, but David is that young gun. He's coming up. He's bringing out that fire. He got that sword slinging and all of this stuff, killing Goliath and everything. But what happens now? What did Saul think? Read on.
And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him.
And Saul is pissed off and mad. But everybody's singing. Everybody's joyful and happy. Saul killed his 1,000. David killed his 10,000. It wasn't trying to disrespect Saul. Huh? But he took it that way. Read on.
And he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom?
Come on, man. That's a damn narcissist. You're the king. They're not trying to take away from all the works you've done, all the accomplishments you have done. You're the king. Nobody can take that from you. But the problem happened with Saul, his mentality, right? Now he's looking at David. He got an issue with the people because remember earlier in 1 Samuel 15, it said what? He feared the people.
Feared the people.
You see what I'm saying? So he want to go based on what the people say, right or wrong, instead of what Yahweh Shimei was already established for him. So now, what happens now? Read on.
And Saul eyed David from that day and forward.
You see that? Saul eyed David from that day forward. So now what is that? That's hatred. That's envy. You see what I'm saying? That's a damn narcissist. Look what happened with David. Saul was scared to fight Goliath. But who stepped up? Who stepped up, Ak? Who killed Goliath?
Joshua.
Nah, who killed Goliath?
Oh, it's like I said, David.
Yeah, it was David.
David.
David killed Goliath. Remember, for 40 days, everybody waiting for Saul to attack, and they didn't know why. Something was wrong. They didn't know what was going on. But Saul didn't want to tell people that what? The Lord took the spirit from him. He didn't want to acknowledge that. He didn't want to repent. He didn't want to tell people that. Right? Read on.
And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house. And David played with his hand, as at other times.
As what?
As at other times.
So David always played around Saul with music. He was a musician. Right? Nothing different this day. But David didn't know. Read on.
And there was a javelin in Saul's hand.
Saul always had the javelin in his hand. Right? But it's something different about this day. And mind you, David didn't sing that song and say, I killed my 10,000, Saul killed 1,000. Nah. The women were saying that. And listen, for you sisters, music is very important. When the men of Israel went to war and came back, they was being praised, they was being celebrated by their own people. Music is very important. Everybody played a role. You see the sports today, look at football and basketball. They got the NBA players on the courts, right? One team against another, right? Don't they also got the cheerleaders for the teams?
Oh,
You see what I'm saying? This is all in the scripture. Our sister was cheerleader for the men of war. Like, yeah, come on, it was hype. You know, because what? Shit, you better cheer. Because what happens if your men lose the war? Guess what you are now?
property.
You're prisoners of war.
Property.
Because your property, right? Because when the other nations come, they ain't showing no mercy. And you know these nations, boy, they wish they can get an Israelite woman. We got examples. Look at Abraham with Sarah. And the heathens came in, they try to steal Sarah from Abraham. Same thing happened with Isaac. They try to steal his wife from him, the heathens. Same thing with Judith. It was like, yo, listen, man, shit, what type of fine women they got? Boy, we got to kill all the men and take all the women. You see what I'm saying? So we are the best of the people on this earth as the jewels of God. So the woman was cheering for the men. But Saul took it as like personal, like, nah, don't take it personal. Everybody just giving David his credit, his respect, but they also gave you your credit and your respect as well. And you're the king. You've been doing it longer than David. God? David wasn't the king. He was a soldier on the battlefield. Every nation got their own champion that they praise and celebrate. But Saul that day, he took it personal. And David ain't never sing that song against Saul. He didn't even know what was going on. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, you always got to be on point and watch your back. Somebody compliments you and they get offended. What the hell? What did I do? You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Verse 11. And Saul cast a javelin, for he said, I will smite David, even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice.
Look at that. So he didn't even warn David. He tried to kill David twice. So imagine you working with somebody or you working with your boss, and the whole time your boss got an issue against you because somebody complimented you at the work and talking about you did a good job. And now ever since that day, your boss looking at you, he's trying to find a way to kill you. To hell with firing you. He's trying to murder you. Twice. You see what I'm saying? That's a narcissist. And that's an evil spirit on a person. So David, he had to dodge him twice. The Lord was showing him mercy. The Lord was with him. Read on.
And Saul was afraid of David because the Lord was with him and was departed from Saul.
And that's the thing with a narcissist. They always think that it's about them, me. But David was closer to the Lord. David was saying he was thinking about the Lord. Everything he did was for Yahweh Shemel Shai. Right? Even the Lord said it. He said, I have chosen a man better than Saul, a man that's after my own heart. When it comes to a narcissist, they're not thinking about the Lord. They're not thinking about somebody else. They're not thinking about the betterment of the nation. They only think about themselves. But David was a man after the Lord's heart. Thought process, mercy, love, compassion towards his people, towards his nation. God? Read on.
Therefore Saul removed him from him and made him his captain over 1,000. And he went out and came in before the people.
Read on.
And David behaved himself wisely in all his ways, and the Lord was with him. Wherefore, when Saul was that he behaved himself very wisely, he was afraid of him.
Look at that. You know why? Saul tried to break him the whole time, and it didn't work. God? Saul tried different tactics and traps and tried to break David. It didn't work. And David was on guard. Dealing with narcissists, you got to be careful. Watch your surroundings around them. But move wisely. You see, David didn't just expose Saul and be like, yeah, I know you trying to kill me or not. You see what I'm saying? The way he moved and the way he approached things, by his action, he moved wisely according to the way Saul was moving. And the Lord kept him safe and protected him. God? Because David still had to do his duties. Just because Saul tried to kill him and all of this stuff, and you know, you're dealing with hardship all throughout your life in this world and all of this stuff, I'm suffering, I'm going through pains and all, so I ain't gonna come to camp. I ain't gonna come to a feast day. Nah, you still got to do your part. God, everybody gonna hate you, right? The Lord said, "Hey, man," in the book of Luke, He said, be joyful in that day when men shall hate you and speak all wicked things about you and evil about you. That's what Yahweh Shai had to go through. But he still showed up. Yahweh Shai still showed up for the feast days, feast of dedication. He told the men to go ahead and then he'll be there. Don't worry, he'll be there. Right? He still showed up for the feast, kept the laws and the commandments while he's being envied, hatred against him, and all of this stuff. Spite, trickery. Khan says, like Amanya said, they want to be the center of attention. See what I'm saying? It's all about me. Read on.
But all Israel and Judah loved David.
Oh my God. Saul hated that. Saul hated that. Remember, he feared the people because he wanted what? He wanted the love of the people, right? But the more he kept hating on David, the more the people loved David. Khan? And it made him more matter, right? It said all the people love David. Read on.
And Saul said to David,
read verse 16 again.
Verse 16. But all Israel and Judah loved David because he went out and came in before them.
Oh, now from there, right? Read verse 13 again.
13.
Khan.
Therefore Saul removed him from him and made him his captain over 1,000. And he went out and came in before the people.
So you see what happened there? Saul tried to push David away and try to jam him up, right? But what happened? That backfired. The more Saul pushed him away, the more he was pushing David towards the love of the people. Because it said David came in and went out. Everywhere he went, he dealt with the people. That's why people start to love him more and more. He was approachable. He was lovable. He was respected. He dealt with those of a low common ground, from high to low. Those that were poor, those that were sick, right? Conversations with them, checking up on them, all of this stuff, helping them. It's like you playing a RPG game, and you got a lot of side missions. Adventure game, you got some side missions. You got to help this old lady with the cat and all this stuff. You know, you got to help get some ingredients for this person so they could cook. And what happened? You start to build relationship with different people. God. So what happened? When the more Saul pushed David away, he actually pushed him towards the love of the people in the congregation, because he mingled amongst the people. But Saul, what happened with Saul? He kept himself more isolated from everybody else. God. And that's what a narcissist is all about. Him. That's it. You're the center of attention. People don't do what you want them to do. You push them out the way. Right? So now more of the people start to love him. Like the scripture says, Sirach, get the love of the congregation. Right? Now, Saul got another trick. Read verse number 17.
17. And Saul said to David, behold, my elder daughter, Merab, her will I give thee to wife. Only be thou valiant for me, and fight the Lord's battles. But Saul said, let not my hand be upon him, but let the hand of the Philistines be upon him.
Read that again, bro. He said what?
Let not my hand be upon him, but let the hand of the Philistines be upon him.
So even while he telling him, he said, fight the Lord's battles, right? The same nigga that threw a spear at him twice. Now he talking about, oh, praise the Lord, let's fight the Lord battle together, and you got this, right? He's using manipulation, right? Read on. And he said, let not my hands be upon David, but the Philistines, right? So he's having David focus on his enemies, the Philistines, and trying to have him forget, nigga, you my enemy. You threw two spears at me, bro. He tried to let his guard down. Read on.
And David said unto Saul, who am I? And what is my life, or my father's family in Israel? that I should be son-in-law to the king. But
Right,
it
read
came
on.
to pass, but it came to pass at the time when Merab Saul's daughter should have been given to David, that she was given unto Adriel the Methelonite to wife.
Right, so he did that on purpose out of spite. Right, read on.
And Michael Saul's daughter loved David. And they told Saul the thing pleased him. And Saul said, I will give him her.
I will give. So he said, I'm gonna give David my daughter. But why? What's the reason why?
That she may be a snare to him.
That she may be a what?
A snare to him.
So this is a wicked nigga. I'm gonna give my daughter to this man, a righteous man, so that she could get him jammed up. Read on.
That she may be a snare to him, and that the hand of the Philistines may be against him.
You see? So he's trying to find a way to get rid of David the whole time because of the envy and the hatred he had towards David. In the book of Sirach, it says, Father, give their daughters into a man of wisdom. Right? Give them into a man of wisdom. David is a man of wisdom, but Saul is using his own daughter as collateral to try to destroy David so that the Philistines could get to him. All because the women were singing, Saul killed his thousands and David killed his 10,000s. David ain't never do nothing to Saul. But this is the personality traits of a damn narcissist. Right? And he just keep thinking of new plots and new ways and all of this stuff. So you just destroy a person because of what? Because you didn't like what somebody said about them. They never said nothing against you to offend you. Huh? Read on.
Wherefore Saul said to David, Thou shalt this day be my son-in-law, and the one of my twain. And Saul commanded his servants, saying, Commune with David secretly, and say, Behold, the king has delight in thee, and all his servants love thee. Now therefore be the king's son-in-law.
Now hold on, man. Hold on, Ak. Why is he doing this? Because the people love David, and he wants the people to still love him. So he's going to use David like a damn politic to keep him close to him. What's that saying? Keep your friends close and what? And your enemies closer. So David's still an enemy to him. Right? So everything this is all manipulation. Right? Read on.
And Saul's servant spake those words in the ears of David. And David said, Seemeth it to you a little slacky? Seemeth it to you a light thing to be a king's son-in-law, seeing that I am a poor man, and lightly esteemed? And the servant of Saul told him, saying, On this manner spake David. And Saul said, Thus shall ye say to David, The king desireth not any dowry, but 100 foreskin of the Philistines, to be avenged of the king's enemies.
Right. So he said to avenge of the king's enemies. But what was Saul's thought process? What did he really want? Read on.
But Saul thought to make David fall by the hand of the Philistines.
This damn devil, Ak. So look at the mindset. Proudful, manipulative, sneaky, mischievous. And this all started from where? Because the woman said Saul killed his 1,000 and David killed his 10,000. So every move Saul is making is calculated to try to find a way to get rid of David or to kill him or destroy him. You see what I'm saying? And mind you, he's still the king. So I'm going to have you marry my daughter, keep you close to me as my son-in-law, right? And I'm going to manipulate her, find a way to get you jammed up. And, you really want my daughter? Solidify the marriage? Go and kill the Philistines and bring back the foreskins of the Philistines. He's trying to give him some damn goddamn impossible type of task, right? And it's all for the thought process of what? Having the Philistines overwhelm and to overcome and to kill David, to get rid of him. So what happens now? Everybody could go back in loving who? Saul. God? Read on.
And when his servants told David these words, it pleased David well to be the king's son-in-law, and the days were not expired. Wherefore David arose and went, he and his men, and slew of the Philistines 200 men.
How many? How many?
200.
So instead of 100, they doubled it. The Lord was with him. So with the damn narcissist, no matter what the person try to do, if the Lord is with the person, you can't stop him. You can't overcome him. Read on.
And David brought their foreskin, and they gave them in full tale to the king, that he might be the king's son-in-law. And Saul gave him Michal, his daughter, to wife.
Read on.
And Saul saw and knew that the Lord was with David, and that Michal, Saul's daughter, loved him. And Saul was yet the more afraid of David, and Saul became David's enemy continually.
And he became what?
David's and Saki. And Saul was yet the more afraid of David, and Saul became David's enemy continually.
And Saul became David's enemy continually. He hated him. Right? Read on.
Then the prince of the Philistines went forth, and it came to pass after they went forth that David behaved himself more wisely than all the servants of Saul, so that his name was much set by.
Read, yo, look how heavy that is. Read that part again, King.
David behaved himself more wisely than all the servants of Saul, so that his name was much set by.
So you know what happened? Saul narcissism, everything backfired. Saul tried to push the Philistines to kill David, right? But you know what's crazy? The more he pushed them towards to try to get him destroyed, the more respect he got from everybody. Even from who? Even from the heathens. Because you keep reading on through the next chapter, even the heathens acknowledged that David was the rightful king. Ain't that crazy? Even the heathens acknowledged that David was a righteous man over Saul. How he was loved by the people, how he dealt with the people and all of this stuff. How he was fair on the battlefield, all of that stuff. He loved his people. He fought for his people. Even the heathens respect David over Saul. Kai? Let me get 1 Maccabees chapter 3 real quick to show you that. When you're fighting for your nation, 1 Maccabees chapter 3 and verse number 1.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees in the Apocrypha, chapter 3, verse 1. Then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead, and all his brethren helped him, and so did all they that held with his father, and they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel.
You see that, Ak? So what is that example? They worked as a team. Khan? All his brothers helped him. They all worked together as a team. And they fought together the battle of Israel as cheerfulness. They was happy to fight for their nation. Right? A narcissist ain't going to do that. They want things their way, how they want it. Right? If you get in their way, they're going to get rid of you. They don't care about the nation. They're not going to fight for the nation. Or if they do fight for the nation, they got hidden motives behind it. Khan? They're not sincere. But the Maccabees, they fought together as a team. Family. Read on.
So he got his people great honor, and put on a breastplate as a giant, and girt his warlike harness about him. And he made battles, protecting the host with his sword.
Read on.
In his acts, he was like a lion, and like a lion's whelp roaring for his prey.
You see that? So in his acts, this is Judas Maccabees. He was like a lion, but same as his brothers, they was mighty as well. And mind you, they're doing all of this for who? For their nation and for their people. God? A narcissist he ain't putting his life on line for his people, bro. He'll throw somebody else in the line of fire before he gets hurt.
Yeah.
Read on.
For he pursued the wicked and sought them out, and burnt up those that vexed his people. Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him, and all the workers of iniquity were troubled, because salvation proposed in his hand.
Right, because salvation prospered. Because salvation prospered in his hand. Same thing with David. This First Maccabees 3, you could line it up with David. He fought the battles for his people cheerfully. Saul hated him and all of this stuff. The people still loved him. He pursued the wicked. Salvation prospered in his hands, like he chopped the head off of Goliath. Everything he did was for Yahweh Shem Shai. But he was willing to fight for his people in any battle, any war, and to defend and protect his people. God? Saul wasn't willing to do that. Right? When Goliath stepped up for 40 days and was telling Saul, hey, anybody out here, mighty man, who's ever out here able to fight with me, let's go. Your champion win, we'll be your slaves. I win, you gotta be my slaves. Right? But Saul wasn't willing to do that because he had the spirit of fear. He didn't have the Holy Spirit fully with him. The Lord gave him away. He took away the Holy Spirit and gave him the spirit of wickedness. Right? Read on.
He grieved also many kings and made Jacob glad with his acts.
Hold on, Ak. He grieved what?
He grieved also many kings and made Jacob glad with his acts.
That's why the heathens acknowledge David. They looking at David as a mighty man. And what did that do? That also what? Showed the mightiness of Israel as a nation, to where the other nations acknowledge how powerful we are as a people and how righteous we are. Even the Pharaoh in Exodus, he also acknowledged that what his people was wicked after the Lord brought the plagues of hell. He said his people was wicked. And he says he's willing to let Israel go. But the Lord said, now hold on. I control all of this. Even if you want to let my people go, I want to show you I'm going to break your pride. And when I see fit, that's when I'll release my people out of your hands. All right? Because a narcissist, they're not going to acknowledge Yahweh Shem Shai. Or if they do acknowledge the Lord, they're going to try to replace the Lord or the Son of God. Let me get Psalms chapter 14 in verse number 1.
This is Psalms 14 and verse 1. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good.
Read on.
The Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand and seek God.
See that? So the fool in his heart, they say there is no God. Right? Same as like Satan, same as Esau, Lucifer, same as 2 Maccabees 15 with Nicanor. They don't acknowledge the Lord. Those are personality traits of a narcissism, of narcissists. Khan? They don't care about the Lord. Right? Let me get 1 Samuel chapter 24. Because we're going to touch on a little bit more about Saul and his relationship with David, Saul as a narcissist. And then we're going to touch on Saul and his relationship with his son as well too, Jonathan, because of the mentality that he had, right? And with that was a self-destructive mentality, personality as a narcissist. Because it's all about you, self-centered, so you want to jeopardize and destroy everything that you have if it don't go your way, right? So let me get 1 Samuel chapter 24. You want 1 Samuel 24, right? God. Let me get 1 Samuel chapter 24, and let me get verse number 16.
16?
Let me see. Verse number 16. God.
1 Samuel 24 and verse 16. And it came to pass, when David had made an end of speaking these words unto Saul, that Saul said, is this thy voice, my son David? And Saul lifted up his voice and wept. And he
So
said to
what happened?
David,
Slakia, what happened in this chapter? David caught Saul slipping, right? And he kept telling him, "Look, bro, I could have killed you so many times, but I'm showing you mercy, right? All the times you've been coming at me, trying to kill me, trying to jack me up, set me up, give me your own daughter so you could try to get me killed by the Philistines, right? So many different examples that Saul tried to do against David, try to kill him. And David like, yo, I caught you slipping. I could have killed you. But I'm showing you mercy. Why? Because you was chosen by the Lord. You was anointed by the Lord, right? And what happened with that? Saul like, okay, I acknowledge that. You know, you're right. I'm messed up. I'm jacked up, right? Read on.
and he said to David, "Thou art more righteous than I,
So he finally said it, David, you're more righteous than I. He finally admitted it, right? Read on.
for thou hast rewarded me good, whereas I have rewarded thee evil."
You see, that's what a narcissist. They reward you evil, and you still trying to move in righteousness. God? And it's not easy to deal with a person like that. Right? But you still got to move righteous. God?
God.
Same as how David was maneuvering. He was moving in righteousness. Because everything going to work out in your favor. The Lord seeing everything that's going on, he's going to continue to increase you and work out in your favor as long as you keep doing the work, staying consistent. But that narcissist, oh, they finish. They're self-destructive. Read on.
And thou hast showed this day how that thou hast dwelt well with me, for as much when the Lord hath delivered me into thy hand, thou killest me not. For if a man find his enemy, will he let him go away? Let him go well away. Wherefore the Lord reward thee good, for that thou hast done unto me this day. And now,
Right.
behold,
Yeah.
I know well that thou shalt surely be king, and that the kingdom of Israel shall be established in thy hand.
Right. So Saul acknowledged that David is righteous, right? And he acknowledged that the Lord gonna make David king. So he finally acknowledged it, right? Read on.
Swear now, therefore, unto me by the Lord, that thou wilt not cut off my seed after me, and that thou wilt not destroy my name out of my father's house.
Right. So he was worried about his seed and his name, right? Because his seed ties back to what? To his name. So he's more worried about his name. God. He's not worried about Yahweh Shemel Shai. He's not worried about like repenting and confessing his sins and all of this stuff and trying to make things right. Right? Read on.
And David swore unto Saul, and Saul went home, but David and his men got them up unto the hold.
All right. So from that chapter, it looked like Saul ain't gonna attack David no more, right? He finally admits it. You the better man. I messed up. You show me mercy and all of this stuff, right?
God, laying down.
Right. Man down. Now read 1 Samuel 26:1.
God. This is book of 1 Samuel 26:1. And the Zephites came unto Saul to Gibeon, saying, doth not David hide himself in the hill of Hachali, which is before Jeshimon?
Right. So Saul, he's keeping tabs. He know exactly where David is at, right? Because as a king, you got to be on point. You got to know your realm. You got to know where everybody at, locations, and all of this stuff, right? Read on.
Then Saul arose and went down to the wilderness of Ziph, having 3,000 chosen men of Israel with him.
To do what? To do what?
To seek David in the wilderness of Ziph.
Why do you think he's bringing 3,000 men to go after David? Didn't he say he's going to leave David alone? You see what I'm saying? Time passed, and at the order, you said, swear to me, you ain't going to wipe my family, all of this stuff. So hold on. I thought it was bygones be bygones. That's it. It's over. The best man won, right? But that damn spirit of a narcissist. You think everything is all good, and then a week later, some BS happens. A week later, Con?
Come.
A month later, you think everything is all good. But you know what's scary? What if their thought process, that was all part of their plan to let your guard down? So they'll say whatever they got to say to make you feel good, let your guard down. That was Saul. And now he coming up with 3,000 men a week later or a month later. He know exactly where David is at. He keeping tabs. Read on.
And Saul pitched in the hill of Hashilah, which is before Jeshimon, by the way. But David abode in the wilderness,
David
and
is
he
in the
saw
wilderness. He's in the cut. Read on.
that Saul came after him into the wilderness.
Bro, think how David must have. This nigga here, man. He won't stop. David's in the wilderness. He could see Saul coming, and he's seeing with 3,000 men. Remember, David's a man of war. David ain't stupid. He know damn well what Saul is there for. He's still trying to kill him. And mind you, this all started with what? Saul killed his thousands, and David killed his 10,000s. Huh? All from that. He will not let it go. Read on.
David therefore sent out spies and understood that Saul was come in very deed. And David arose and came to the place where Saul had pitched. And David beheld the place where Saul lay, and Amber, the son of Ner, the captain of his host. And Saul lay in the trench, and the people pitched round about him.
Right? So they surround him and everything, right? Now from there, let's jump all the way down. Verse number 24. David still showed mercy.
Verse 24.
Right?
And behold, as thy life was much set by this day in my eyes, so let my life be much set by in the eyes of the Lord, and let him deliver me out of all tribulation.
Right, read on.
Then Saul said to David, Blessed be thou, my son David. Thou shalt both do great things, and also shalt prevail. So David went on his way and shall return to his place.
So now, Saul again, he apologized again, right? He acknowledged David's going to be great again. But do you think Saul just stopped going after David any more time? You see what I'm saying? Because what's that saying goes? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. But what David had to do, he had to maneuver around him. He had to get away from him. Huh? And he acknowledged the whole time, this nigga crazy. He's crazy. And the Lord put him in position, he could see him coming a mile away. Because he acknowledged how he is in his personality and that he don't want to repent, prideful and all of this stuff. The Lord, he showed David in position, he could see this devil coming a mile away. And David was wise. He was a man of wisdom. So you got to know how to deal with people like this. Huh? Now from there, we go ahead, King. I got what
like,
to bring up.
Give me 2 minutes, like.
Huh? Let me get this one right here. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm just proud as hell and everything. God, shalom, family. We can see our comments on the we can see our comments, just put whatever y'all think about so far with the lesson with Saul and his mentality and how he's moving and all of that stuff. And just it's crazy, man. A narcissist, proud as hell, right? You don't care about how you affect everybody else. If things don't go your way, you want to kill everybody, you want to destroy everybody. And we just showed that part pertaining to Saul dealing with David. So I'm gonna show this part with Saul dealing with his own son. Straight wicked, for real. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, David didn't say nothing to Saul the whole time. He didn't sing that song, Saul killed his 1,000, David killed his 10,000. He never said none of that. But that's the personality of a damn narcissist. Proudful, they exalt themselves over everybody. They don't know how to blend and how to mix and deal with the people together. Right? That's why the Lord had the laws, love the neighbor as thyself, like Leviticus chapter 19, 17. Don't bear a grudge against the children of thy people. Right? The brother Kanye. So now we're going to deal with 1 Samuel chapter 14. I want to show this part with Saul and how he was dealing with his son. And this is all a person of narcissist. Because now things don't go your way, to hell with everybody. King, Trump and Obama are the same type of envy. Fine. Yeah, Trump and Obama are the same type of devils. They just come at it with a different approach. Trump is more blatant and loud about it. Obama is more smooth with it. Smooth serpent, right? They just come at it with a different approach. They're still the same. Narcissist. Very manipulative. You know what I'm saying? Khan, you good, King?
Yeah, Khan.
All right, Khan. Let's get 1 Samuel chapter 14. Let's show an example how Saul was dealing with his own son, right? Let's see. Let me know you got it. We're going to go to 1 Samuel chapter 14.
Khan, let's look at 1 Samuel chapter 14.
And let's go to verse number 22.
And verse number 22. Likewise, all the men of Israel, which had hid themselves in Mount Ephraim, when they heard that the Philistines fled, even they also followed hard after them in the battle.
Right. So this was the battle with Jonathan going against the heathens, right? And Saul was scared. But Jonathan had more faith in the Lord than Saul. Even in these times in 1 Samuel 14, remember, 1 Samuel 15, when Samuel came in and he told Saul to go smite Amalek, and he didn't do it, and the Lord took away the crown, right? And the chapter before that, Jonathan fought a mighty battle against the heathen and won. Khan, beautiful point, King. That's what Saul wanted. Saul wanted the glory. That's what he wanted. All right? This is a damn narcissist, right? So from there, I jump to verse number 24.
24. And the men of Israel were distressed that day.
They were distressed. The men were distressed. Read on.
For Saul had adjured the people, saying, Cursed be the man that eateth any food until evening, that I may be avenged on my enemies. So none of the people tasted any food.
So read that again. Saul said, what? This nigga crazy.
He said, Cursed be the man that eateth any food until evening, that I may be avenged on mine enemies.
So hold on. The people distressed, right? They're exhausted. They're tired, right? You gotta know the flock, the diligence of your flock, right? But a damn narcissist, he don't give a damn about anybody else's situation.
Break them down.
You see what I'm saying? What you said, Ak?
You know what I'm saying? Keeping them weak.
Yeah, he keeping them weak. Everybody already starving. Everybody, they hungry and all of this stuff. They distressed and all of that stuff. They don't got no energy. You don't even give them a heads up. Read that again, Ak.
And the men of Israel were distressed that day, for Saul had adjourned the people, saying, Cursed be the man that eateth any food until evening.
So this nigga implemented his own law. That don't make no sense. Cursed be the man. The Lord said, Cursed is the man that hold back his soul from blood. This nigga said, Cursed be the man that eat any food. You think you God, the Most High. You implementing your own law. That don't make no sense. No logic behind it. Right? That's like me. And you know, a brother been starving the whole time here and there, this and that, been trying to get a meal, but he had to go to work and all of that stuff, been missing meals and everything, malnourished and all of that stuff. And now he about to buy this food. He got the food, right? And then you tell him, nah, Ak, you got to fast. What?
Not today.
We implemented a mandatory fast, And anybody that break the fast, you're gonna get put to death. What? Nigga, you didn't give me a heads up. You didn't tell me what's going on. You don't know my situation. You didn't even put it out there like, yo, anybody want to fast, let me know here and there, this and that. You didn't give no options. You see what I'm saying? Like, this nigga crazy. You know?
And all they of the land came to a wood.
Verse 24.
Salaki, 24 from the top. And the men of Israel were distressed that day, for Saul had adjured the people, saying, Cursed be the man that eateth any food unto evening, that I may be avenged on my enemies. So none
that he may be avenged on his enemies. He didn't say the Lord enemies. He said his enemies. You see what I'm saying? So it's more of him versus them. It's not the Lord versus them. It's not us and the Lord moving together as a unit, and we're powered by the Lord, so we're going to fight the Lord's battles. David always said he fighting the Lord's battles. We don't?
So none of the people tasted any food.
So look, bro, this nigga crazy. He wanted people to fast so the Lord could deal with the people even more. But he don't understand the situation. He don't give a damn. He's a narcissist. He has no consideration, no empathy about the people in their situation. God? So no, bro, what? What would you do, man?
Ooh.
If you really made a nice dinner and all of this stuff, man, you've been working the whole damn day, been slaving and all of this stuff. You finally get home, you can't wait. You got the picture of the food and how it looks, and you just, man, I can't wait. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta eat.
And everybody else already ate.
Gotta eat.
You know what I'm saying? But the leader or the captain of the camp here and there, this and that. You know what I'm saying? They mad at somebody. So now they gonna put that on everybody on the camp. No, we all gonna fast. Mandatory. What? You didn't even give the option. Or consideration or choice. If I catch anybody, get on the group right now. Get on the live right now. Put out the video right now. If I catch anybody taking a bite, you out the camp, you getting put to death. What?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know?
25. And all there of the land came to a wood, and there was honey upon the ground. And when the people were coming to the wood, behold, the honey dropped. But no man put his hand to his mouth, for the people feared the oath.
You see that? The honey is dropping. Look at that, man. Just honey. Oh my God. Sweet, tasty, water in your mouth, and you just starving. You see what I'm saying? And this nigga made a foolish oath because of his pride. He didn't consider nobody in that situation. We don't?
But Jonathan heard not when his father charged the people with the oath.
Uh-oh. Now there's about to be a problem. Read on.
Wherefore he put forth the end of the rod that was in his hand, and dipped it in a honeycomb, and put his hand to his mouth, and his eyes were enlightened.
And he was what?
His eyes were enlightened.
This man seen the heavens, bro. He was so hungry. He finally got some of that food. He's like, oh, shit. Right? Read on.
Then answered one of the people and said, Thy father straightly charged the people with an oath, saying, Cursed be the man that eateth any food for this day. And the people were faint.
And the people were faint, right? Read on.
Then says Jonathan, My father has troubled the land.
Read that again. He said, what?
My father has troubled the land.
So Jonathan acknowledged the way his father was moving was off his hell. Khan? He said he troubled the land. Why would you make an oath or a promise like this here and there? You don't understand everybody's purpose, slack, everybody's position, situation, what's going on. It's all about me. Khan? That's why I say we should. Why do you how about Shimon was shy? Personally, we could, testimony with us in HOI. We got great elders. great leaders that set the example, and they care about the brothers and sisters in their situation. God,
God.
and at least give people a choice. God damn. So everybody's starving, everybody's suffering, you know?
See, I pray you, how mine eyes have been enlightened, because I tasted a little of this honey. How much more, if haply the people had eaten freely today of the spoil of their enemies, which they found? For had there not been now a much greater slaughter among the Philistines?
You see? So Jonathan understands. He's keeping consideration about the people and their circumstances. He's not a narcissist, but Saul, he don't give a damn. Right? Read on.
And they smote the Philistines that day from Michmash to Ajalon. And the people were very faint.
But look how mighty we was as a people. We still won against the Philistines, right? Right? But the people was damn near fighting to death on super E. They didn't have to go through that type of situation like that. Read on.
And the people flew upon the spoil.
And the people flew upon the spoils, the rest of the spoils, and did what?
And took sheep and oxen and calves and slew them on the ground.
And killed the animals on the ground because they were starving to death, right? And what did they do?
And the people did eat them with blood, with the blood.
With what?
With the blood.
What do you think happened, Ak?
Oh man, that's wicked.
You see that? But do you understand the circumstance and the situation? This man created a damn fasting, mandatory fast with no consideration of the people at all. They didn't give them no options. They understand nobody's circumstance, all because he was mad because the situation that happened. Right? So now the people are starving to death. They're watching his son eating because he didn't hear about the oath for the fast. And his son feel revitalized. He feel energized now, all of this stuff. And they still in battle. They still in battle. So now when they get their chance, they still kill the Philistines. Now they get their chance to eat. And what happens now? They was starving so much. They was so desperate. They thought they was going to die. Because remember, they're fighting. You ever fasted while working?
Gone.
It don't get tiring?
Picking
up a heavy load? And you on a battlefield, you bleeding? Your life is on the line? You stressed and all of this stuff? You ain't got no energy. You want to eat? Damn, they about to collapse. You know what I'm saying? And what happens now? They ate animals with blood in them. They ate the food with blood in them. So what happened? The Lord said what? We're not supposed to eat food of blood, right?
No.
Right? Read on.
Then they told Saul, saying, behold, the people sin against the Lord, in that they eat with the blood. And he said, ye have transgressed. Roll a great stone unto me this day.
Right, read on.
And Saul said, disperse yourselves among the people, and say unto them, bring me hither every man his ox, and every man his sheep, and slay them here, and eat, and sin not against the Lord in eating with the blood. And all the people brought every man his ox with him that night, and slew them there.
So now what happened? So they already sinned against God, but who actually put them in that situation for them to literally sin against the Lord? Saul. Because he didn't use wisdom. Khan? Now it gets a little tricky. Khan. He calls the people to sin. Khan, King. So it gets a little tricky. So now, read verse number 41.
41. Therefore Saul said unto the Lord.
Oh, verse 39. 39, King. Verse 39.
39. For as the Lord liveth, which saveth Israel, though it be in Jonathan's my son, he shall surely die. But there was not a man among all the people that answered him.
So they asking, he's asking who sinned, who broke the oath, right? He said even if it was his son, he would kill him. Who broke the oath, right? And what happened? It said nobody of the people did what? None among all the men of the people answered him. Why did it answer Saul? Read on.
Therefore Saul said unto the Lord, God of Israel, give a perfect lot.
Verse number, yeah. Read on. Verse
First
number
lot.
41. Now you got it. Verse number 41.
Come, 41. Therefore Saul said unto the Lord, God of Israel, give a perfect lot. And Saul and Jonathan were taken, but the people escaped. And Saul
Right.
said,
Now jump to verse number 43.
43.
God.
Then Saul said to Jonathan, tell me what thou hast done. And Jonathan told him and said, I did but taste a little honey with the end of the rod that was in my hand, and lo, I must die.
Ooh. So what happened with Jonathan? What did he say?
Jonathan said he had to die.
Yeah. So he acknowledged what he did, right?
Come,
So what happened? Jonathan took accountability, right?
come.
Even though he didn't hear the oath that Saul did. You see how cold that is? He still took accountability and responsibility for something that he didn't really do out of his own hands. He didn't know what was going on. But you see his mentality? He still took accountability. And this is Saul's son, right? Read on.
And Saul answered, God, do so and more also, for thou shalt surely die. Jonathan.
This nigga crazy. Yo, you made a stupid vow, oath, no reasoning behind it. You didn't understand the time. Everything was bad time. You're in a battlefield, distressed, and all of this stuff. Instead of you saying the enemies of God, you say your enemies. A damn narcissist. You say even Jonathan. If Jonathan did it, I'm killing him too. No sense of reasoning. Jonathan didn't hear the oath and all of this stuff. So you didn't give him no pass. Your own son. You didn't show no mercy. Right? And they said, yeah, surely you're going. He didn't even hesitate. You see what I'm saying? This is a narcissist. He didn't even look back at the oath that he made and see it was a wise or a stupid idea. Huh? Read on.
And the people said unto Saul, shall Jonathan die, who hath wrought this great salvation in Israel? God forbid.
You see how the people stood up for Jonathan?
God.
They're like, this nigga crazy. They're like, you losing your mind. You about to kill your own son? The same one that helped you get the victory from the Lord? Saul was already going the hell off. So the people gotta speak sense into Saul, like, yo, you wilding, you bugging. You gonna kill your own son? Read on.
God forbid. As the Lord liveth, there shall not one hair of his head fall to the ground.
And you see what happened? What is about to happen? An insurrection. Or like a coup d'etat. An overthrow. Why? Because this is a king that's making stupid decisions. Huh? To the point you about to sacrifice your own son because of your stupid decisions. Instead of you taking accountability, admitting that you messed up, you wanted to kill your own son who was willing to take accountability and still defend you. So the people had to rise up and defend his son. And told Saul, like, yo, you ain't gonna touch your head on your own son. That's how wicked this nigga was moving. All logic and reason gone. So the Lord put the spirit on the people to defend Jonathan, who was a righteous man. Read on.
And the people said unto Saul, shall Jonathan die, who hath wrought this great salvation in Israel? God forbid. As the Lord liveth, there shall not one hair of his head fall to the ground. For he hath wrought with God this day. So the people rescued Jonathan, that he died not.
See that? So the people had to rise up against this damn tyrant, narcissistic idiot king who was Saul, who showed no mercy to his own son, because the people recognized this nigga's he's bugging. We didn't have to fast at this moment. You got to set the moment in time, and everything got to be perfect timing, and consider everybody. Now, damn near pushed them to sin, to where they was starving to death while still on a battlefield, and now they ate animals with blood in it, all of this stuff. You think they wasn't furious? You know what I'm saying? All because of stupid decision that Saul made. Huh? So from there, let's get another example. Because we're going to talk about this one with 1 Samuel 18. Let me see. Let me see. Matter of fact, let's go to 1 Samuel 20, because 18 would be different. Touch on another example with how Saul, with his narcissism, dealt with his own son Jonathan. Right? 1 Samuel chapter 20. And let's go to verse number 20. Verse number 30. 1 Samuel 20 and verse 30.
Read 1 Samuel chapter 20 and verse 30. Then Saul's anger was kindled against Jonathan, and he said unto him, Thou son of the perverse, rebellious woman, do not I know that thou hast chosen the son of Jesse to thine own confusion, and unto the confusion of thy mother's nakedness?
Right. So what happened? So quick thing. Saul was talking with Jonathan about David, right? He was asking, where is David? Remember that story, Yak? Right? He was asking, where is David? And what happened? David didn't show up to the new moon. Why? Because Saul was trying to kill him. Saul was looking for a way to scheme at David and try to kill him. Right? And David understood that. And guess what? Jonathan understood that, because Jonathan understood what? His father was moving as a wicked man. And he's trying to attack and trying to kill a righteous man who ain't do nothing wrong to him. But with this nincompoop, crazy-ass narcissist, if things don't go his way, he's willing to destroy everybody, even his own son. Right? So now he's cursing out his son. Read that again, King.
Then Saul's anger was kindled against Jonathan, and he said unto him, Thou son of the perverse, rebellious woman, do not I know that thou hast chosen the son of Jesse to thy own confusion, and unto the confusion of thy mother's nakedness?
So he's saying, don't you think I don't know that you chose David over your own father, right? Son of confusion, right? Of your own mother, and he's cursing out his own wife, Jonathan's mother. Why? Because he's mad that he didn't get a chance to kill David. And he wants Jonathan to side with him. And John like, hell no, you wrong. Okay? Right is right and wrong is wrong. You're wrong. You know?
For as long as the son of Jesse liveth upon the ground, thou shalt not be established, nor thy kingdom. Wherefore now send and fetch him unto me, for he shall surely die.
So he wants Jonathan, who's a righteous man, to go and get this righteous man and bring him to the wicked man so the wicked man could kill him? You crazy?
Man,
what is that? Go ahead, King.
No, Slocky, no.
You want to say something? Go ahead, Aaron.
No, I was to say the math with that.
God. So what is that? That's the thought of a narcissist. I want to do it my way. He's not thinking about Yahweh at all. And plus, he's trying to force his son to commit a wicked act. Right? We don't?
And Jonathan answered Saul, his father, and said unto him, Wherefore shall he be slain? What hath he done?
Hey, that's what we saying. But he's still mad because Saul killed his thousands and David killed his 10,000. They didn't even know what the hell was going on. Huh? Read on.
And Saul cast a javelin at him
crazy
to smite him, whereby Jonathan knew that it was determined of his father to slay David.
So he got so mad that Jonathan questioned him because of his wickedness. He tried to kill his own son, man. And where is this? On the new moon. This is on the feast day. So this devil, this black devil is spiraling so much, he don't even honor the Lord's new moon. That's crazy, right? He don't care about the Lord. He's so gone. He don't care about the Lord's new moon. It's supposed to be a day of peace, celebration, and all of this stuff. He don't give a damn. He's still trying to find a way. And guess what? You're supposed to keep the feast days, right? The new moon, right? So you know David's supposed to show up, right? So David's supposed to show up to what? Honor the feast days of the Lord. And he's going to try to use that opportunity to kill him. Ain't that crazy? That's crazy. Right? Read on.
So Jonathan arose from the table in fierce anger, and did not eat no meat the second day of the month. For he was grieved for David, because his father had done him shame.
You see that? And guess what? With a narcissist, they don't care. They shame you in front of everybody. Right? Jonathan was ashamed in front of, he was embarrassed. And Jonathan is a righteous man. He was a warrior. He won wars for Israel. And a father son supposed to move as a team, dynamic duo. But what happened? Because of his damn narcissism, what happens now? He's destroying his whole entire family and separating them. All because of envy and hatred he has towards another person. Huh? Read on.
And it came to pass in the morning that Jonathan went out into the field at the time appointed with David, and a little lad with him. And he said unto his lad, Run, find out now the run, find out now the arrows which I shoot. And as the lad ran, he shot an arrow which beyond him. And when the lad was come to the place of the arrow which Jonathan had shot, Jonathan cried after the lad and said, Is not the arrow beyond thee? And Jonathan cried after the lad, Make speed, haste, stay not.
Right. So this is part of the story, says, like Sister Mayan was saying, narcissists are jealous people. Right. He's jealous of David and how everybody loves him. But he's forgetting all the blessings the Lord gave him. He's king. He's king of Israel. What more do you want? You the king of Israel. The greatest nation on the earth, and you leader of the nation of Israel. That's damn near the highest position. God? And David is just a young man, mighty man, champion, all of this stuff, but he's not the king of Israel. You're the king. But because of your hatred and your jealousy for him, who's below you and you above him, like this joint is crazy. Because you scared he gonna take your spot and all of this stuff. Well, why you don't just do your damn job like you should have been doing? Right? Then your position would be threatened. God? Don't get mad when the Lord replace you with somebody, Lord replace you with somebody else. Don't get mad. Because you ain't doing your part. You forgot the Lord and start to slack. And it happens every day. We see it happen every day. God? But instead of you learning how to work together as a team, if it don't go your way, to hell with everybody else. Even to the point you willing to jeopardize the whole damn mission. Because it ain't going your way. Right? Let's get Slakia. Let's get 1 Samuel chapter 22. So that was a quick one with Saul and Jonathan, how he dealt with his own son and all of this stuff. We dealt with Saul dealing with David, Saul with Jonathan. And now let me show you how Saul dealt with the people through narcissism. 1 Samuel chapter 22 and verse number, let's see. Verse number 6.
1 Samuel 22 and verse 6. When Saul heard that David was discovered, and the men that were with him, now Saul abode in Gabar under a tree in Ramah, having his spear in his hand, and all his servants were standing about him.
We on?
Then Saul said unto his servants that stood about him, Hear now, ye Benjamites, with the son of Jesse, give every one of you fields and vineyards, and make you all captains of thousands and captains of hundreds.
All right, what is this man doing?
Bribing.
He trying to what?
Bribe.
He trying to bribe the people. This nigga here. Right? Sons of Benjamites. Right? He know how to talk, boy. Now he politic. Hey, don't forget, man. We Benjamin. Let's stick together. Right? We're the top tribe right now. Right? He said, will David give you lands and all that? Yeah, he can't give you that. He's not the king. You see what I'm saying? He's not the king. He don't have the position or power to do that. But you treated him like he's the king, like he's your enemy and all of this stuff. And he's just trying to serve you and serve the Lord. Read on. Narcissists would do that. They're gonna find a way to bribe you to keep you close to them. Huh?
That all of you have conspired against me, and there is none that showeth me that my son hath made a league with the son of Jesse.
So hold on. He's gonna blame. Like this is crazy. Read on, all right.
And there is none of you that is sorry for me.
Read that again, bro.
And there is none of you that is sorry for me.
You see? How they want what?
They want you to be sorry for them.
Right. Nobody care about me. Everybody don't hear it. Nobody's sorry. You a narcissist. You blaming everybody for your hatred and your envy and your wickedness towards another person. Read on.
Showeth unto me that my son has stirred up my servant against me to lie in wait as at this day.
You see that? He said, my son have stirred up the servant against me to lie in wait. He thought David was in the cut trying to kill him. He a damn liar. When David was in the cave to Absalom and Saul went to use the bathroom, David was behind him. He's like, yo, he cut a piece of his garment like, yo, I could have killed you. David wasn't lying in wait to scheme on Saul. He was lying in wait to hide, to run, to get the hell away from Saul. God? He was trying to get away from him. But he had a peep. He's a man of war, of the battlefield. He had a peep to see where Saul is going so I can go the opposite. God? This nigga lying, just twisting things up, twisting the whole story and making the people feel bad for him so they could be on his side. Like a politic, like a politician. Read on.
9, verse 9. Then answered Doeg the Edomite, which was set over the servants of Saul.
Now hold on, man. How the hell you got an Edomite over your own people? Doeg the Edom. How you got an Edomite? So you treat your people like shit, but you keep your enemies close. You keep the actual natural enemy you're supposed to wipe out. You give them a position to rule over your people because he's going to do what you tell him to do, but it's going against God. But you don't got no problem with it. You have no logic, but you're allowing this snake to come next to you. You don't consider his mindset. It's like a black man putting a white police officer over a black neighborhood. You don't consider he has no empathy for your people. He don't have no consideration. He don't care about people starving, hungry, on drugs and all of this stuff. He's going to shoot first and act later. You don't consider none of that? That's a damn narcissist. God? Read on.
And said, I saw the son of Jesse coming to Nawar, to Amalek, the son of Ahitub.
Yeah, so he's on it. Doeg the Edomite is on it. He's snitching immediately. Anything Israel do, he's snitching. Didn't Esau do that? When the Babylonians came to capture us, they was in the cut waiting, and some of our people ran, and they came and captured them and brought them straight to the Babylonians. They show no mercy. And this is who Saul got over his people. Read on.
And he inquired of the Lord for him, and gave him victuals, and he gave him the sword of Goliath, the Philistine.
See, the sword of Goliath, the Philistine. Read on.
Then the king sent to call Amalek, the priest, the son of Ahitub, and all his father's house, and priests that were in Nob. And they came all of them, to the king. And
And they said
Saul
what?
said, Hear now, thou son of Ahijah. And he answered, Here I am, my lord.
Right. So the priests, they still acknowledge Saul and they still respect him. Right? You know?
And Saul said unto him, Why have ye conspired against me, thou and the son of Jesse, in that thou hast given him bread and his sword, and hast inquired of God for him, that he should rise against me to lie in wait, as at this day?
Hold on, man. Wait, what? What are you talking about? All right, imagine how the priest, like, what? You just made up a whole story. What are you talking about? I was conspiring against you and helping David so he could set you up and all of this stuff and scheme on you so when you come, we can kill you. What are you talking about? This nigga bugging out. But that's a narcissist, right? They'll frame the story. They'll frame the story according to the way they remember it or how they want it to be said. Okay? We don't? No truth behind it.
And Saul said unto him, Why have ye conspired against me, thou son of Jesse, and that thou hast given him bread and his sword, and hast inquired of God for him, that he should rise against me to lie in wait, as at this day? Then Amalek answered the king and said, And who is so faithful among all thy servants as David?
Ooh. Boy, that cut him. Boy, that cut him. Right? Because that's true. Who is more faithful out of all the people of Israel than David was to Saul? That cut him. Because remember, David came in as a musician, rose up in the ranks as a warrior. Whatever Saul needed, David played songs for Saul, whatever he needed. Took care of the nation, killed Goliath, who Saul was scared to go against for 40 days. Right? Defended the people in the battle. And he was a sheep herder, all of this stuff. Whatever Saul needed, David did. While David was being hated on by Saul. So even the priests acknowledge David is more faithful to Saul than anybody else. That's cold, right? That's what Saul hates. When people acknowledge something that somebody else did better than him, or even acknowledge or try to remind him that what you're doing is wrong and what this person doing is righteous and right. Read on.
Which is the king's son-in-law, and goeth at the bidding, and is honorable in thy house.
Look at that, man. He like, yo, that's your son-in-law. And he's so mighty and he's faithful, and whatever you need, he got you. Priests just talk like, shit, I wish that was my damn son. You know what I'm saying? And he says what? An honorable in thine house, a man of honor, integrity, even to the point that he was like, yo, this guy David's a problem. They acknowledged how mighty David was. He wasn't looking for none of that. But that's what Saul wanted. Saul wanted all that glory. Right? Read on.
Did I then begin to inquire of God for him? Be it far from me. Let not the king impute anything unto his servant.
You see? He's basically telling him what? Don't lie on me. Don't try to frame this how you want it to be framed and you lying on me. I'm a priest. You're supposed to show me some respect. Don't lie on me. Okay? Read on.
God. And the king, hold on.
Verse 15. Let not the king impute.
Verse 15. Did I then begin to inquire of God for him? Be it far from me. Let not the king impute anything unto his servant, nor to all the house of my father. For thy servant knew nothing of all this, less or more.
Right. So he's like, yo, I didn't know nothing about no conspiracy. I just helped the brother David, fellow brother David. God? Man of God, I know his reputation. He's a good person here and there. He's a champion for the nation of Israel. I never seen him do anything wicked. I just helped the servant David, a fellow Israelite, fellow brother, and plus a champion of the Lord. And an honorable man, a man of integrity. Who wouldn't help him? God.
God.
But what did Saul say? Read on.
And the king said, "Thou shalt surely die."
God damn. For what? So he just everything the priest just said just went out of one ear, from one ear out the other. No acknowledgement, no consideration. You see what I'm saying? He wanted his way. That's it. God. Read on.
And the king said unto the footmen that stood by him, "Turn and slay the priests of the Lord, because their hand also is with David, and because they knew when he fled, and did not shew it to me."
So you see the stupid decisions he's making?
Oh.
They're like, you want to what? Just kill the priest? You don't want to hear him out? There's no court, none of this stuff. Trial. Examine the whole matter first. Right? You're the judge, execution. What is it? Judge, jury, and executioner? That's not how Israelite king operates. God?
Oh.
Supposed to be a man of wisdom. Feel like you're gonna die immediately. And his men, Benjamites, mind you, they looking like, and what happened now? We don't.
But the servant of the king would not put forth their hand to fall upon the priests of the Lord.
You see why? Because they're like, this nigga crazy. He wilding. We in hell no. He's not putting bloods on our hands of priests, righteous men. You trying to condemn us and our whole family for doing that? Right? This is a narcissist. He don't have his way. He want everybody to go. He want to kill everybody. Stupid decision. Selfish, self-centered. Right?
Oh.
Going against God. Read on.
And the king said to Doeg, "Turn thou and fall upon the priests." And Doeg the Edomite turned, and he fell upon the priests, and slew on that day 85 persons that did wear linen ephod.
But look at that. But guess who's happy to do it? That Edomite. Esau has no fear of the Lord. He has no respect of the prophets of the Lord. He don't give a damn. He was happy to do it. He did it so much that he didn't even just kill the priests. Later on, he goes on and kill the women, the children, the animals, and all of this stuff. He showed no mercy. So this demon, Saul, narcissist, has on his right hand who he has. He has his hitman, which is this Edomite. And willing to kill the righteous people of his nation, all because he was jealous of David. He was mad because they was talking about David killed his 10,000, Saul killed his thousands. This is part of the traits of a narcissist. Huh? You don't give a damn about nobody. Blood on your hands and everything. You don't give a damn about nobody. Right? So what happened with Saul later on, oh boy, man. Shalom, can you hear me? Con. Let's get huh?
Oh no, I thought you asked me to continue. So
Con. Let's get keep reading to the next verse, and we're gonna switch to the next story.
And now the city of the priests smote he with the edge of the sword, both men and women, children and suckling, and oxen and asses and sheep with the edge of the sword.
Right, read on.
And one of the sons of Amalek, the son of Ahitub, named Abiathar, escaped and fled after David. And Abiathar shewed David that Saul had slain the Lord's priest.
Right. Now from there, let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 28. For Samuel chapter 28 and verse number 5.
1 Samuel 28 and 5. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. And when Saul inquired of the Lord answered him not, neither by dreams, nor by Urim, nor by prophets.
So what's happening now? The Lord ain't dealing with Saul. He's not showing him no dreams, visions, signs. He's not speaking to him at all and nothing. He's not giving him any heads up, hints, or whatever, right? So now Saul is desperate, right? Read on.
Then Saul said unto his servants, Seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit, that I may go to her and inquire of her.
So hold on. Because the Lord ain't dealing with Saul. What did he start to lean on towards more?
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft. Watch out for a damn narcissist. Because if they can't have their way, the Lord ain't dealing with them, they're going to find different means. Like a lot of our brothers and sisters. They go back to the church. They can't have their way. They try to usurp a damn camp. Leadership and all of that stuff. They can't have their own way. They start to wax worse and worse and worse. Con? Now he's dealing with witchcraft. Read on.
And his servant said to him, Behold, there is a woman that hath a familiar spirit in Endor.
Read on.
And Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment, and he went, and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night. And he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee.
So now he's dealing with witchcraft. He's waxing worse. Envy and hatred towards your brother and your nation. Slaughtering the priests. Ready to kill your own son because you're willing to defend a righteous man. The Lord ain't dealing with you no more. So now you're going to double down on sorcery and witchcraft. Read on.
And the woman said unto him, Behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, how he has cut off those that have familiar spirits, and the wizards out of the land.
Right. So that was Saul before when he was moving in righteousness. He got rid of the witches, the wizards, witchcraft, and all of that. He did according to the word of the Lord, right? Now, look what this demon said. Read on.
Wherefore, then layest thou a snare for my life, to cause me to die.
You know what she's saying, basically? Hold on, you're supposed to be righteous. I can't trust you. Hell no, you probably trying to set me up. What is she basically telling you? She's shocked that he even came to her for help. God? She's like, what the hell? You're supposed to be an Israelite. You're supposed to be righteous. All the mighty battles you didn't had, all the heathens you didn't slay, or how the mighty have fallen. She's not sure. She confused, like he trying to set me up or whatever. She thinking that he's still righteous. He's wicked as hell now. The Lord ain't dealing with him no more. But what he did, he disguised himself behind the scenes because, like Sirach 23, right? The eyes of men only fear men. People that's watching them, they don't fear the eyes of the Lord. The Lord is watching them the whole damn time, but he got to hide and disguise himself so people don't recognize it's him going to a witch. God? Read on. He got to put the you know what I'm saying? Like the Assassin's Creed.
Verse 10. And Saul swore to her by the Lord, saying, As the Lord liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing.
Look at that, man. He's swearing the Lord's name in vain now. So he's lying. Whatever he got to say and do to get what he wants. Even the wicked is like, damn, like what the hell happened to you? Read on.
Then said the woman, Whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, Bring me up Samuel. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, Why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. And the king said unto her, Be not afraid, for what Saul is thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw a good ascending out of the earth.
Right. She saw gods ascending out of the earth. Who are the gods of the earth? The children of Israel. We're the children of God. Right? So this is what she's seeing through the spiritual realm. Right? Now from there, jump to verse number 15.
15. And Samuel said to Saul, Why hast thou disquieted me? to bring me up. And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines made war against me, and God is departed from me, and answereth me no more, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do.
So he's using witchcraft to try to get answers from the Lord. He's desperate, right? All he had to do was just keep the commandments and stay humble. But now he got to go through all of this stuff, up, jumping around all damn hoops and all of, and doing stuff he ain't never had to do from the beginning. It was simple. Keep the commandments of the Lord. God, give reverence and praise unto the Lord. But because it's envy and hatred towards David and towards his people, what happens now? He's self-destructing. God? And he's taking everybody down with him. And the person that loved him and that was trying to help him the whole time, Samuel, who already completed his mission. He's gone. He's in the third heaven. Saul used witchcraft to bring him back again. Read on.
Then Samuel, wherefore then thou askest me, seeing the Lord is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy. And the Lord hath done to him as he spake by me. For the Lord hath rent the kingdom out of thine hand, and given it to thy
Like he
neighbor,
said, he was going to separate the kingdom from him. Read on.
even to David. Because thou obeyest not the voice of the Lord, nor executed his fierce wrath upon Amalek. Therefore hath the Lord done this thing unto thee this day.
Look at that, because he didn't swing that sword against Amalek and show no mercy and do according to the word of the Lord, he allowed him to survive. You allow your enemy to survive, and now look. Now you got witchcraft on you, spells on you, bugged out, you're losing your damn mind, all because you couldn't follow a simple order of the Lord. And because you show more mercy to your enemies than your own people, you show more mercy to a damn Edomite and allow them to live, and now you moving like a damn raging dragon to slaughter your own people. And now the Lord took everything away from you. Right? Now from there, let's get 1 Samuel chapter 31. So this is what happened with Saul. 1 Samuel 31 and verse 1.
1 Samuel 31 and 1. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled before the Philistines, and fell down slain in Mount Gabar. And the Philistines followed hard unto Saul, and upon his sons. And the Philistines slew Jonathan, and Abinadab, and Malchi-Sur, and Saul's son.
Right. So a quick thing with Jonathan, if you know, Jonathan is a man of integrity, right? So he still fought the battles for his father and all of that stuff. And he died as an honorable man on a battlefield, right? He wasn't a coward. He didn't die as a coward, right? Read on.
And the battle went sore against Saul, and the archers hit him, and he was sore wounded of the archers. Then said Saul unto his armor bearer, draw thy sword, and thrust me through therewith, lest these uncircumcised come and thrust me through and abuse me. But slaughter.
All right, Khan, can you hear me out?
Yeah, Khan.
Okay, Khan. Yeah, you keep reading, Ken.
Yes, verse 4, man. Verse 4. No slack. Verse 5. I finished up 5.
Verse number 4. Verse number 4.
Then said Saul unto his armor bearer, draw thy sword, and thrust me through therewith, lest these uncircumcised come and thrust me through and abuse me.
So hold on, man. So this man, even on a battlefield, he didn't want to die like a man on the battlefield. Right? He tried to get somebody else to do it so he could blame them. Khan? Jonathan fought on the battlefield. He died as a man of integrity. So even in his death, still didn't want to take no accountability. Read on.
But his armor bearer would not.
But
For
his
he was
arm,
so
it says arm bearer would not. How many
calm.
times people went against Saul's wishes? First time, remember, with the fasting, and then his own son, he didn't even know they didn't fast because of the stupid oath that he made. And then what happened? His own people protected him against his own son. Right? Now, the second time with the priests, when they was telling him with the priests to slay the priest, and his own people said, no, he wouldn't. No, I'm not. This is stupid. I ain't doing it. Right? And now this one right here is own armor bearer. He's telling him to slay him. He said, no, I ain't, you wilding. See what I'm saying? All the decisions that he's made, that he's done is dumb as hell. It's all about him. Read on.
But the armor bearer would not, for he was so afraid. Therefore Saul took his sword and fell upon it.
And you see, he died. He committed suicide. He died as a coward. Read on.
And when his armor bearer saw that Saul was dead, he fell likewise upon his sword and died with him.
Read on.
So Saul died, and his 3 sons, and his armor bearer, and all his men that same day together.
So that was the end of Saul, right? How he dealt with David, proud as hell, disrespectful, narcissistic, jealous, envy. How he dealt with his own son, because his own son was willing to protect David, a righteous man, right? How he dealt with the people, the priests that he slayed, talking about they conspired against him and tricked this and that and all of this stuff, right? Everything Saul did was because of him being a damn evil demon. Even though he was a king of Israel, he was a wicked ass man. Now, let me get let's see. Let me get 2 Samuel chapter 15.
What was that?
2 Samuel chapter 15. Yeah. 2 Samuel chapter 15. We're gonna deal with Absalom. 2 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 1.
2 Samuel 15 and 1. And it came to pass after this, that Absalom prepared him chariots and horses, and 50 men to run before him.
Right. So this is Absalom. Absalom is David's son, right? So I'm using another example, which is Absalom. Absalom, we'll be talking about with narcissism. Absalom, tall, dark, and handsome, pretty boy and all of that stuff. But Absalom was also a manipulator, right? He knew how to manipulate the people, right? And it's cold. If you read about the story with Absalom, 2 Samuel 15, Absalom and Saul, they kind of got the same personality, which is crazy, right? 2 Samuel 15 came, verse number 2.
And Absalom rose up early and stood beside the way of the gate. And it was so that when any man that had a controversy came to the king for judgment, then Absalom called to him and said, of what city art thou? And he said, thy servant is of one of the tribes of Israel.
Right, read on.
And Absalom said unto him, see, thy matters are good and right, but there is no man deputed of the king to hear thee.
So hold on, what is he doing? He's positioning himself to take that spot, right?
Yeah.
It said anybody that's coming to the king for judgment, for a rule on a certain situation, good or bad, whatever. He's vouching for the people. Yeah, you got some good points about your situation, all of that. But we need somebody that's able to, take care of the matters for you and all of that stuff, right? Mind you, this is his son. Read on.
And Absalom said unto him, see, thy matters are good and right, but there is no man deputed of the king to hear thee. Absalom said, moreover, oh, that I were made judge in the land.
That he was made what?
Judge in the land.
So he wanted to be judge in the land. Read on.
That every man which hath any suit or cause might come unto me, I would do him justice.
Right. So that was his reasoning, right? He said, they got to make me judge in the land. He wanted that position. Make me judge in the land. So anybody that had an issue, I got you. I'm going to get it right. I'm going to make sure everything's on point. I got this, right? I'm gonna make sure you get with justice and all of this stuff, and what is well deserved. I got you, right? I would have made this decision. I would have made that decision. You would have been good. You would have been good, right? So what is he doing? He's undermining his father. Okay, read on.
And it was so that when any man came nigh to him to do him obstinance, he put forth his hand and took him and kissed him. And on this manner did Absalom to all Israel that came to the king for judgment. So Absalom stole the hearts of the men of Israel.
This is a damn narcissist. Who they all coming for?
King.
David, the king. But who's there right there? Who's there in front of the gates that's coming in and accepting all the people? They can gather the popularity of all the people so they can show favor unto him. His own son Absalom. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And most of this stuff, David don't know what's going on. Right? But it's all about him. He's trying to steal that spot, that position. Right? Read on.
And on this manner did Absalom to all Israel that came to the king for judgment. So Absalom stole the hearts of the men of Israel.
Right.
And it came to pass after 40 years that Absalom said unto the king, I pray thee, let me go and pay my vow, which I have vowed unto the Lord in Hebron.
Right. So after 40 years, this man, he's so wicked. He planned the scheme for damn near 40 years. He had everything all set up, right? But it took time. Right? He said, let me go pay a vow that I got paid to the Lord. So he's using the Lord for a scheme that he had set up. And he said you got to pay a vow. Like the scripture said, when you say a vow, you gotta pay it, right? Read on.
For that servant vowed a vow while I abode in Geshur in Syria, saying, if the Lord shall bring me again indeed to Jerusalem, then I will serve the Lord.
Now, what happened with this? The situation happened earlier throughout the chapters where Absalom killed one of his relatives because they slept with their sister, right? Now, Absalom, he's scheming because he wants his father's position, but he got to set it up in a way very strategic, how he's going to get it. So first he got to do what? Like the saying goes, get the love of the congregation. So he got to get the love of the people, right? But it's all part of the scheme. He got the people, he got the numbers, he got the majority. So now when he set up this plan, it's going to be cold and everybody going to be on his side, right? Read on.
For that servant vowed a vow, verse 9. And the king said to him, go in peace. So he arose and went to Hebron.
Right, but so David said, go in peace. But look what Absalom did. Read on.
But Absalom sent spies throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, as soon as ye hear the sound of the trumpet, then ye shall say, Absalom reigneth in Hebron.
Wait a minute, man. Hold on. What? So he's scheming against his father. He got the love of the people, right? He wanted the position of a judge, but that wasn't really his goal. He wanted the position of the king. But he's going to work his way up the ladder because he got a goal in mind. And he's going to do it deceptively, right? So he says what? He sent spies, and where everybody hear the trumpet, he sent those spies. So he's going to set it all up. That says Absalom reigneth in Hebron, right? That was a part of Judah, land of Judah. Read on.
But Absalom sent spies to all the tribes of Israel, saying, as soon as you hear the sound of the trumpet, then ye shall say, Absalom reigneth in Hebron. And with Absalom went 200 men out of Jerusalem that were called, and they went in their simplicity, and they knew not anything.
And they knew not what?
Anything.
They didn't know what was going on. He was using them the whole time. He was very deceptive. God? They didn't know what was going on. Read on.
And Absalom sent for Ahithophel, the Galilean, David's counselor, from the city.
Right. So hold on. So Absalom, he's very strategic. He know who to get to bring him to his side. Right. Ahithophel was one of David's counselor, trusted men and counselor. Right. So he took one of his father's men that he trusted, counsel, advice, and all of this stuff that's going on that he needs, secrets that they're supposed to keep between themselves. Could be marriage secrets. All of this stuff was going on behind the scenes that he's dealing with, issues that he's dealing with, and he's coming to somebody for advice and a trusted counselor like Ahithophel. So Absalom is very strategic. He know how to create an insurrection, right, to overthrow David, right, because he want that position. We are. Verse 12.
And Absalom sent 13.
Read verse 12 again. Read verse 12 again.
Come. And Absalom sent forth Ahithophel, the Galilean, David's counselor, from his city, even from Galo, while he offered sacrifices, and the conspiracy was strong, for the people increased continually with Absalom.
You see that? He did all of this while he was offering sacrifices. So what was he doing? He was using the sacrifices as what? He was using it as like a mask, as a cover-up. He wasn't really there for the sacrifices. He was there for them to set him up as a new king. So him saying that he made that vow to the Lord to make this offering, all of that stuff, that was all part of the conspiracy. So David and the rest of the men would be thinking that he's over there to make that sacrifice, make that vow for the Lord. But he was there to conspire against David, his own father. Okay? And the people didn't even know. The people gathering with him, and they don't even know that he's using them. That's why you got to be careful about a narcissist. Because they'll be using people around you. They'll be using the people, and the people don't even know. You'll be on a narcissist side, and you don't even know that they're using you. You know? They tricked you. It's all about perception with them. They the center of attention. Manipulation tactics. Right? And it says the conspiracy was strong. Why? For the people increased continually with Absalom. They all gathered with him. Because remember, what happened less than about 40 years ago. He started to build a good rapport with the people and all of this stuff. Hey, we got to make him a judge, man. Everybody love him. Everybody's looking at the numbers, the majority. They're like, man. Right? And a lot of times, just because you might have the numbers or more people's on your side, that don't mean you're right. That don't mean you're telling the truth. Okay? Just because you have more of the numbers, that don't mean you're telling the truth. Because that's a lot of people that's been deceived by you and your trickery. Right? Look what happened with Slakia. Look what happened with Daniel and Susanna and the two elders. Two elders of high reputation and all of that stuff, but they were freaks. They tried to molest Susanna behind the scenes, and guess what? They had the power of the people. But what happened? Daniel, who was of a lesser, he stood up for the sister. He told her, like, yo, we gotta take y'all two and separate y'all two and see who's right and who's wrong. If y'all story matches. Right? Now these elders, what happened? They had the majority of the people with them and all of this stuff, and people believe whatever they say and all of that, but behind the scenes they were wicked as hell. But who was in the right? The person that everybody looked over or least expected, who was Susanna. Okay? And she was in the right. She was innocent. Right? So there's so many examples throughout the Bible. Just because you have the numbers, that don't mean you're always right. Right? So it says in Absalom, read verse number 11, King. Slack it. Verse number 13. Slack it.
And there came a messenger to David, saying, the hearts of the men of Israel are after Absalom.
See that? So David always had people around that still supported him. And they starting to see, like, what the hell? Everybody is falling for Absalom. Everybody loves Absalom. What's going on here? Something is different. Something is weird about this. Read on.
And David said unto all his servants that were with him at Jerusalem, arise, and let us flee, for we shall not else escape from Absalom. Make speed to depart, lest he overtake us suddenly, and bring evil upon us, and smite the city with the edge of the sword.
You see, and they knew Absalom was a man that would show no mercy. The same as with Saul, the same mentality. If he couldn't have things his way, everybody got to go. But he got the love of the people. Very manipulative, right? And with him, it's about perception, how everybody looks at him. But guess what? It's all an act. It's all a role. It's like these politicians, right? Everybody loved Trump, believed in Trump, and all. Yeah, he's going to do this. And now look at him now. Look how he's moving. The real devil. Ain't showing nobody no mercy. You going to get down and lay down. Obama too. Everybody love Obama, right? Love of the people. Speak smooth, calm. Got some style. But come to find out, he killed more people as president with drone strikes than damn near even Trump, right? But he got that nice smile that everybody falls for and believes him, right? And with a narcissist, they'll use whatever they got to make the people feel good, make the people feel like, yeah, this is a good person. This is a good brother or sister. But it's all part of a tool. It's part of their trick. Con? And remember, with Absalom, everybody was talking about it. He had long hair, right? Beautiful hair and all of that stuff. Tall, dark, and handsome, like I was saying earlier, right? Look good on the outside, but he's a demon on the inside. And very manipulative, right? Read on.
And the king's servant said unto the king, Behold, thy servants are ready to do whatsoever my lord the king shall appoint. And the king went forth, and all his household after him. And the king left 10 women, which were concubines, to keep the house. And the king went forth, and all the people after him, and tarried in a place that was far off. And all the servants passed on besides him, and all the Sherethites, and all the Pelethites, and all the Gittites, 600 men, which came after him from Gath, passed on before the king.
Right. So now what happened? Slakia. So what happened from this point? Everybody got to leave. They got to go. David got to abandon ship. Right. He got to leave the kingdom and all of that stuff because Absalom is coming fast as hell, and he's coming in to try to kill his pops. Right. He got the people with him on his side. He got the numbers. He got the people admiration, all of this stuff, and he got to get the hell out of Dodge now. Right. Now from there, let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 16, King. 2 Samuel chapter 16 and verse number 22.
2 Samuel 16 and 22.
Right. Or you can start at 21. You can start at verse 20, King.
20?
Yeah, start at verse 20.
Then said Absalom to
Ahithophel,
give counsel among you what we shall do.
So Absalom is coming to David's counselor, who's Ahithophel, right? One of his best counselors, and he's coming in for wisdom. But the wisdom he's going to give him is on the left-hand side. It's a part of manipulation, right? And deceit. Read on.
And Ahithophel said unto Absalom, Go in unto thy father's concubines, which he hath left to keep the house, and all Israel shall hear that thou art a whore of thy father. Then shall the hands of all that are with thee be strong.
So the advice he gave Absalom is go and sleep with your father's concubines, so that the people would know now that the Lord is dealing with you. Con is all perception, manipulation. This is all what it is. Shalom, King. It's all manipulation. This is part of narcissism, right? Go and hang out with this crowd. Go and hang out with these people. Go and mingle with these brothers and sisters and all of this stuff. So now people is looking at the perception like, yo, all right, damn, this person's increasing. The Lord is dealing with him. This person got this rib and that person, this sister dealing with this new husband or man, whatever. This brother got 3 or 4 wives and all of that stuff. The Lord is dealing with him. But it's all perception. Read on.
So they spread Absalom a tent upon the top of the house, and Absalom went in unto his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel.
You see that? And he wanted everybody to see. That's the key. He want all the people to see. That's part of the deception. When it comes to a narcissist, they're about public perception. Right? Now we understand the Lord said, Matthew chapter 5 verse 13, 14, and 15. Let your light shine so your good works could be in the front of men, so you could praise the Heavenly Father. Right? But all that ties into what? You praising the Lord. Right? By your actions and by your works, you being a good example. Right? But Absalom, he understands the people and their perception and how to deal with them, how they perceive certain things. It's like now with the situation with Megan Thee Stallion and Clay Thompson. What do you think about that situation,
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but he's more of a, I guess you said clean, more of a clean cut guy in comparison to her than what she portrays herself as, showing the body. She got that walk, for the world to see, and so that ain't what he want.
Okay, now why nobody's mentioning Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez?
Because they want to, the what she portraying herself as a woman, that's what they want to lead to.
But remember the story with Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez? They used to deal with each other. Right? And what happened? Megan Thee Stallion set up Tory Lanez and lied and said that he tried to kill her. And she did what? She got what? She got the following and the favor of the people based on the perception that she put out. While Tory Lanez is in prison fighting for his life. And a lot of people don't know about Tory Lanez. He was able to finesse the system. The contract that he had, he went behind because what? He was able to sell his music. He sold CDs for like $1 and was able to come up with about $1 million straight for himself. When you go back to that story with Tory Lanez, Tory Lanez understood they tried to get rid of him because he knew how to crack the system. With the music industry, with the 360 deals and all of this stuff, they tried to get rid of him. And they framed him and lied and said that he tried to kill Megan Thee Stallion. And she went with the story. She ran with it. And the perception of the people, they believed her. Okay? And now look how many relationships she's been in. All the people she done dealt with. All by the perception of the people. But don't forget, she told people, man, WAP, shake that here and there, this and that, F niggas and all of that stuff. And this, I could do what I want. If I get what to do, whatever, he gonna have to pay me and all of this stuff and money and all of that. And wicked as hell. She set a wicked example. Right? Same as with Diddy. Shalom, shalom. Right, Khan. Like the brother was saying, same as with Diddy, man. Look at the perception that Diddy portrayed to everybody else. But behind the scenes, he's wicked as hell.
Yeah.
Right? Behind the scenes, he's manipulating Biggie and everybody else and all of that stuff. He's making deals with Amalek and all of that. Throwing his people under the bus. That he's having contracts and deals with. Every person that signed to his label, they ended up dead. You know? How he was dealing with the women. How he was dealing with Cassie. They had videos about it. He was beating the crap out of her. But in front of everybody else, Mr. Take that. Bad boy, baby. Right? This goes both ways. And there's so many examples everybody can use. Don't fall for the banana in the damn tailpipe. Just because it looked good, that don't mean it is. Okay? But Absalom understood how to manipulate the people. Shit, Slakia, look at it now. Look at some of these brothers in these camps. Right? You build up a following and all of this stuff. Everybody love how you teach and edify, breaking down the scriptures and all of that. And then once you get a certain number, what happens? You backdoor the whole nation. And you switch the whole doctrine. Huh?
You know, I'm agreeing with you. It's calm.
Con. You get a certain following, you backdoor the whole nation, you switch the whole doctrine, and now you become damn Christians and all of this stuff. You change the name of the Lord, and you know, everybody can be saved, and this and all of that's like it's crazy. And the people that thought that you was right, the people that actually trusted in you and followed you, you led them all astray. Look, that's what Absalom did. Because remember earlier, we were at what? The people didn't know. They were simple. They didn't know that he was tricking them. He was using them. God? And using them to go what? Against a righteous man as David. Yeah, like Sister Mayan says. That's wild. Read on. Verse 22.
So they spared Absalom, attend upon the top of the houses, and Absalom went in unto his father's concubine in the sight of all Israel.
Yeah, that's like you putting pictures all over social media and all of this stuff, and you want things to be perceived how you want it to be. You're a manipulator. You're a manipulator. You're not being sincere. You're not being honest. You're not being genuine. You're scheming and all of that stuff. You a goddamn manipulator, a narcissist. And people like that, they don't fear the Lord. It's all about them. Me. My how I do things and all of this stuff. My name is bigger than Israel. All of this. It's all about them. Okay? Now, a person may say, read the next verse. All right. Slack. Read the next verse.
And the counsel of Ahithophel, which he counseled in those days, was that if a man had inquired at the oracle of God, so was all the counsel of Ahithophel, both with David and with Absalom.
You see? So what happened? They was prospering. You see what I'm saying? Remember we read the story about Saul when he told the priest that you inquired of God for David, and the priest like, what are you talking about? What are you lying about me for? Right? Like they said, Ahithophel, the type of wisdom on the left-hand side, the schemes and the tactics that he was giving Absalom, it was like the Lord was dealing with him. He made all the right moves. Getting money, increased funds, all of this stuff, new followings, all of this stuff. New signs and pictures and new camp names and all of that. They looking fire and all of that. Right? This the new camp on the block. This new people on the block. And that was all part of the finesse, the deception. And he got the people in the palm of his hand, manipulating everybody. Look, you hear me? And he's manipulating everybody. Everybody like, damn, man, they got a new sign, new symbol. Man, they on fire. The Lord is with them and all of that. Not realizing this nigga is the devil the whole time. He's just an evil genius. He know how to manipulate the people. He know what picture to put out there, what post to put out there. Right? That everybody bite. Oh, man, clickbait. You know how to put out the clickbait. A damn evil genius. Making all this money, breaking back. But he has no love for the people. It's all about him. It's all about her. Okay? Let's get 2 Samuel chapter 15. Block it. Chapter 14 and verse number 25. Start at verse 23.
2 Samuel 14 and 23. So Joab arose and went to Geshur and brought Absalom to Jerusalem.
Read on.
And the king said, let him turn to his own house, and let him not see my face. So Absalom returned to his own house and saw not the king's face.
Right? So Absalom and David, they had a separation. Right? Because of what Absalom did. Right? Read on.
But in all Israel, there was none to be so much praised as Absalom for his beauty.
For his what?
For his beauty.
You see that? The people of Israel loved Absalom for his beauty, right? How perfect he looked as a man. Big, strong, muscles, right? Long hair, know how to talk, know how to sweet talk people and everything and all of that stuff. He got some game and everything. All right, who does that sound like? Remember Saul? Saul was tall, dark, and handsome, jewelry decked out and everything, all of that. Looked good on the outside, right? Read on.
From the sole of his feet, from the sole of his foot, even to the crown of his head, there was no blemish in him.
There was no what?
There was no blemish in him.
So he looked perfect on the outside. A narcissist could be a stone cold killer. Pretty smile, big smile, nice eyes, and all of this stuff. Beautiful face, hair, clear skin, big and strong. And they're going to use all that to their advantage to trick the people, to get what they want. Then we say in Timothy's, in these last days shall be men that be lovers of their own selves. And he forget the Lord. They don't care about Yahweh Shemel Shah, and the Lord's looking at the spirit, not the flesh. That's how he did with his father David. He cared about the spirit and not the flesh, the inward and not the outward. Right? Read on.
And when he pulled his head, for it was at every year's end that he pulled it, because the hair was heavy on him. Therefore he pulled it. To wear the hair of his head at 200 shekels after the king's weight.
Look at that. So he had long hair, long, healthy hair. Right? But once again, he was a demon. Con?
Oh.
This nigga was a demon. So what happened to Absalom? Right? Look good on the outside, but a bastard on the inside. Let me get 2 Samuel 18. This is the end of Absalom. 2 Samuel 18. And let's jump to verse number 9. We're about to close out. Because now what happened?
2 Samuel 18 and 9.
Yeah. What happens? Absalom, Joab was David's right-hand man. Joab seen Absalom was scheming and trying to kill David the whole time. And Absalom was he was so cold with it. Right? He had the love of the people, admiration, he had the fan service, all of that. He was so cold with it. He knew how to come at his pops and destroy everything from within. But Joab was right there, because Joab like, hell nah, this nigga dangerous. Hell nah, man. And boy, we let the people trust him, it's all for us. Everybody for a hook, line, and sinker for this devil, and they have no idea how wicked he is. That's like our people, how we look at Esau today. You speak bad against the white man, now we the devil. You call out his BS and what's going on, it's the sneaky tactics he does behind the scenes. And now we're the enemy. Imagine your own people. Like, same thing with Absalom. Look at these wicked ass leaders. Right? Look at these wicked ass celebrities. $1 million, $1 billion, and all of this stuff. And they got all the riches of this world, the life and clothing, food, drinks, and everything. Look at Diddy. Ciroc. Look healthy, strong, skin glowing, and all of that stuff. But look what he's doing behind the scenes in closed doors. Molesting men. Abusing women. Having crazy orgies and all of that stuff. Forcing men into homosexual activities. All of this wickedness that they've been doing. But the limelight, everything look all bright and nice. Lavish life. Right? Read on.
Oh, shit.
Verse 9.
And Absalom met the servants of David, and Absalom rode upon a mule, and the mule went under the thick bough of a great oak, and his head caught hold of the oak, and he was taken up between the heaven and the earth, and the mule that was under him went away.
So Absalom is riding on like a mule, say a horse, whatever, and his hair, right? His hair get caught on the tree. How long his hair get caught on the tree? Perfect, right? Read on.
And a certain man saw it and told Joab, and said, Behold, I saw Absalom hang in an oak tree, in the oak. And Joab said unto the man that told him, and behold, thou sawest him, and why didst thou not smite him there to the ground?
So Joab like, nigga, you found him? This damn traitor, this wicked bastard, we finally got him, and you just let him live? We finally got this corrupted demon, and you just let him rock? Because remember, Absalom, he moved as a man of wisdom. Same as his pops, wise as hell, but he's on the left-hand side. It was hard to catch him because he had other people doing his dirty work on certain things. He was using the people. Right? Read on.
I will have given thee 10 shekels of silver in a girdle. And the man said unto Joab, though I should receive 1,000 shekels of silver in my hand, yet I would not put forth my hand against the king's son.
And you know it's crazy, right? Because remember with Saul, same thing with Jonathan, right? But this is different. Jonathan was righteous. Absalom is wicked. Read on. But they still respected the order of David because David was a righteous man. You see what I'm saying? When it came to Saul, he was wicked as hell, and his son was righteous. But in this instance, David is righteous and his son is wicked, but the men still respected the order of David because of the works that he'd done before. Read on.
And the man said to Joab, though I should receive 1,000 shekels of silver in my hand, yet I would not put forth my hand against the king's son, for in our hearing the king charged thee, and Abishai and Ittai, saying, beware that none touch the young man Absalom.
Right. So David told the men, don't touch Absalom. Right. But Joab's mindset is like, yo, he's trying to kill everybody. Like, your son is a narcissist. He's a danger to the whole nation. He's trying to kill you, and you gonna let him kill you? And not just let him kill you, he's trying to kill all of us. And you allowing this to happen? What's that saying? Like you helping him is a word, is a specific word for it. You know what I'm talking about?
An accomplice.
You accomplice to it, basically. Kind. Your son trying to destroy us, destroy the nation, and you accomplish that. You allow him to get away with this stuff? Read on.
Otherwise, I should have brought falsehood against my own life. But there is no matter hid from the king, and thou thyself wouldst have set thyself against me. Then said Joab, I may not tarry thus with thee. And he took 3 darts in his hand, and thrust them through the heart of Absalom, while he was yet alive in the midst of the oak.
And that's what happened to Absalom. He died. They killed him. Right? So him as a narcissist, tall, dark, and handsome, nice smile, pretty eyes, and all of this stuff, long hair, right? From the outside, right? Look nice, look powerful from the outside. Beautiful smile, face shining and glowing. But he was a wicked man. And the Lord stopped him from any type of schemes that he was trying to set up against David, who was still a righteous man. And what happened now? The men of David, they're looking at him like, yo, like, you gonna defend this dude? You're not even gonna try to rebuke him or try to keep him in check? Because later on through the chapter, y'all read about that. David was fasting for his son Absalom, and Joab got pissed off. He was like, yo, bro, you was willing to watch this man kill us all. Wipe us all out. Because you didn't want to take accountability for his actions, what he was doing, and you should have kept him in check as a father, but you didn't want to do it. Okay? So that even showed the relationship between a father and a son, or a father and a child. If they don't see what their child is doing and the wickedness that they're doing and try to correct it. You know? Let's get one more, King. Are we going to close out? You still there, Ak? Yeah, Shakan, you still there, King?
Gone.
God. Yeah, let's get one more. Because we want to balance it out. Let's get 2 Kings. Matter of fact, Just want to show y'all different examples. Let's start at 1 Kings chapter 16 in verse number 31.
Say 16:31.
Come.
1 Kings 16:31. Now, and it came to pass, as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, that he took to wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethabal, king of the Didonians, and went and served Baal and worshiped him.
Right. So this is Ahab that married Jezebel, right? Ahab and he married Jezebel. Ahab is an Israelite, Jezebel is a heathen, right? Now from there, go to 1 Kings chapter 18. 1 Kings chapter 18, and let's go to verse number 1.
1 Kings 18:1. And it came to pass after many days that the word of the Lord came to Elijah in the third year, saying, Go, shew thyself unto Ahab, and I will send rain upon the earth. And
Right,
Elijah went to shew himself unto Ahab, and there was a sore famine in Samaria.
right. So there was a famine in Samaria, right? This is Elijah, a prophet, and we got Elijah and Ahab right now, right? Read on.
And Ahab called Obadiah, which was the governor of his house. And Obadiah feared the Lord greatly.
And Obadiah feared the Lord greatly. Now, guess who comes in? Read on.
For it was so, when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord, that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them for 50 in a cave, and fed them with bread and water.
So Jezebel was known as a woman that was killing the prophets of the Lord, right? Obadiah, a righteous man, protects some of the prophets from the wrath of Jezebel, right? Now, Jezebel is married to Ahab, who's an Israelite, right? Read on.
And Ahab said unto Obadiah, Go into the land unto all fountains of water, and unto all brooks, peradventure we may find grass to save the horses and mules alive, that we lose not all the beasts. So they divided the land between them to pass divided. Ahab went one way by himself, and Obadiah went another way by himself. And as Obadiah was in the way, behold, Elijah met him, and he knew him, and fell on his face and said, Art thou that my lord Elijah? And he answered him, I am. Go tell thy Lord, behold, Elijah is here. And he said, What have I sinned, that thou wouldest deliver thy servant into the hand of Ahab to slay me? As the Lord thy God liveth, there is no nation or kingdom, whether my Lord hath not sent to seek thee. And when they said he is not there, he took an oath of the kingdom and nation that they found thee not.
Right. So quick thing. So this is Elijah and they talking back and forth him and Obadiah, right? They basically tell him to let them know that the Lord sent me, right? I'm here to do the work of the Lord, the duty of the Lord. Remember, in verse 1, the Lord told him to go to Ahab and tell him what was going on pertaining to the rain, because they had famine in that time. The Lord was going to bring rain, right? And with Jezebel, she slayed the prophets, right? So she was known as a killer of the prophets, right? Now go to 1 Kings chapter 19 and verse number 1. Because as you go down through the story, Elijah killed the false prophets of Jezebel and all of that stuff, right? Now go to 1 Kings 19 and 1.
1 Kings 19 and 1. And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and withal how he had slain all the prophets with the sword.
Right? Because in the previous chapter, Elijah was talking to Ahab, and he was like, yo, he was basically like, yo, I see your situation, and you in a jacked up situation, but you got to lean more into your how about Shimon was shot. You got to get the hell away from her, right? I'm going to vouch for you, same as what Samuel did for Saul. I'm going to vouch for you, and I'm going to look out for you, but you got to get rid of these wicked false prophets. So Elijah was using Ahab to gather the wicked false prophets so that he could slay them, right? Now Ahab goes back to Jezebel and tell her what happened. Instead of him putting his foot down, he told her what happened, right? And look what she did. Keep reading out. You're on mute.
And he saw that he arose and went for his life and came to Beersheba, which
Verse
belonged
2.
to
Yeah, verse 2. You good.
Then Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah, saying, So let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time.
So this is Jezebel. She's a narcissist, right? She's seeing, she got the wicked prophets, the wicked prophets of Jezebel, their followers and all of that stuff. Elijah comes in and slays them for the Lord, right? And instead of her humbling down, she doubles down on it, and she's ready to kill more than even Ahab. She got more heart to fight than Ahab, right? And mind you, Ahab is also a narcissist as well too, right? Because in a way, even though Jezebel is like Jezebel is manipulating Ahab, but he's actually manipulating her because he know he's weak. But instead of him getting strong and putting his foot down, he allows her to run all over him. But he's still going to use her later on down throughout the chapter, right? So she doubling down. She ain't showing no mercy, cutthroat, right? Read on.
But he himself went a day's journey to the wilderness, and came and sat down under a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die, and said, It is enough. Now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers.
You see that? So what happened with Elijah? Because Elijah see the person that he's dealing with, this damn Jezebel, she's wicked, right? She is not stopping. She's trying to set up the whole kingdom against him. Who's ruling? Is Ahab the king, but she's the quote unquote queen. So she got everything set up against Elijah. So the wicked is ruling, and the wicked got more power over the righteous at that time. So he felt like he's overwhelmed. He ain't got no way to get back at her and all of this stuff. And she keep chasing him down, trying to slaughter him and everything. She got the whole system against him, right? He felt like he's about to quit, right? But what happened? The Lord sent an angel to strengthen him and to bring him towards him after a 40-day travel, which was basically a fast he had to do after. And the Lord had to remind him, like, yo, don't fear her. Even though she got the whole system against you and all of that stuff, I'm still your power. I'm going to protect. I'm going to guide you, right? Because a narcissist can only win for so long, but at the end of the day, the Lord's the one that's going to get the upper hand at the end of the day. Huh? So now from there, let's go to 1 Kings chapter 21. 1 Kings 21 and verse number 4.
1 Kings 21:4. And Ahab came into his house, heavy and displeased because of the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him. For he said, I will not give thee the inheritance of my fathers. And he laid him down upon his bed, and turned away his face, and would not eat no bread.
So what happened? Ahab wanted something that don't belong to him. He wanted Naboth's vineyard, right? And Naboth said, yo, I can't give it. I know you're the king, but I can't give it. This belongs to me. This is part of my family inheritance, right? Now, us as Israel, everybody had their own lot. Everybody had their own land, their own items, and all of that stuff that belonged to them, right? There's laws for that, right? But Ahab still trying to take what belongs to Naboth, which don't belong to him. So Ahab is a narcissist as well too, because they want something that's not theirs. Okay? You can't have it. Go get your own. You know? Yeah, read on, Ken.
Come on.
Yeah, we almost done.
Where was that? Sorry.
Verse number 5. Flocky, verse number 4. Verse number 4.
22:4. No, 20.
21:4. Con.
21:4. Sorry.
Con.
Verse 5. But Jezebel, his wife, Jezebel, his wife, came to him and said to him, why is thy spirit so sad, if thou eatest no bread?
So Ahab, he sad as hell, not even hungry, lost his appetite, all because what? Because he wants something that somebody else has. It don't belong to him. The Lord said don't covet, right? In Exodus chapter 20. Don't covet thy neighbor's items or whatever. You know?
And he said unto her, because I spake unto Naboth the Jezreelite, and said unto him, give me thy vineyard for money, or else, if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give thee my vineyard.
See, that's like somebody come to you, hey man, I want that car you got. Nah, I'm good. It belongs to me. I'll give you another car. No, I don't want that car that you give me. No, this is mine. This is sentimental. I got it from my father, my grandfather. Right? It's passed down throughout the family. It's part of the family heirloom. I had so many memories with this car and all of this stuff, right? I got it when I was a teenager. I don't want to give it to anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I got plans for it. When I'm done with the car, I'm gonna have it retired, put it in the garage, set it all up, make it look all nice and everything and all of that. But Ahab said, no, that's what I want, right? When it comes to a narcissist, they can't have something that you have. They're gonna destroy everything you got to get what they want, right? Read on. Verse number 6, King. Slocky, verse 7. Verse 7 now. Slocky.
And Jezebel his wife said unto him, dost thou now govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise and eat bread, and let thy heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite.
So how is Jezebel gonna get the vineyard from Naboth? Right? Read on.
So she wrote letters to Ahab's name, and sealed them with the seal, and sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in his city, dwelling with Naboth.
So what did she do? She forged his signature. Right? She forged his signature. And saying this is what Ahab said, here and there, this and that. I'm the king, you do this and do that. Right? There's so many examples. Because of perception of people, hey, this person sent that text through their phone. That don't mean they sent it. Right? Somebody else is using that, and there's certain words that they're framing. And you're like, what the hell? Hey, sis, hey, you sent this? Nah, I didn't send that. What the hell are you talking about? Then you got the screenshots and everything. You think they sent the actual text. But what happened? The person that's dealing with them in that relationship, they're the one that's trying to control the whole relationship. Right? So now they're like, you dealing with this chick, whatever, you talking to this person. Let me see who you talking to. Let me find out. So I'm going to send this text. I'm going to send that right there. Let me see what's going on. Right? And what is it? It's a scheme. It's a plot. Okay? Read on. Verse number 9.
And she wrote in the letter saying, proclaim a fast is set in the boat on high among the people.
Right? So now she's telling these men, proclaim a fast. Right? Read on. Verse 10.
And said 2 men, sons of Belial, before him, to bear witness against him, saying, thou didst blaspheme God and the king, and then carry him out and stone him, that he may die.
So she said, send 2 men of Belial, 2 wicked men. Go and choose 2 wicked men and have them lie against this person so that they could set them up and they can kill them. So you can be able to get the vineyard. Right? That's mischief and that's manipulation. Right? That's all part of narcissism. That's trickery as well, too. And that's lying and framing, blackmailing. Okay? This is all part of what's going on. Now from there, let's get one more. I know we could say this for next time. Let me get 2 Kings. Let's get 2 Kings chapter 9. Second Kings chapter 9, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, Con. Yeah, let's get 2 Kings chapter 9 and let's get verse number 7.
2 Kings 9 and 7. And thou shalt smite the house of Ahab thy master, that I may avenge the blood of my servants the prophets, and the blood of all the servants of the Lord at the hand of Jezebel.
Right. So now what's happening? The Lord is bringing judgment. Slakia. The Lord is going to bring judgment on the house of Ahab and Jezebel, right? Because of all the wickedness they've been doing, all her witchcraft and the sorcery, Ahab allowing it to happen, right? He's protecting her and her wickedness, right? He's not standing up against her in righteousness. And he's supposed to be an example. He's supposed to set the example, right? So the Lord raised up Jehu to bring judgment on them, right? Read on.
For the whole house of Ahab shall perish, and I will cut off from Ahab him that pisseth against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel.
Right, read on.
And I will make a house of Ahab like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, the son of Ahijah. And the dog shall eat Jezebel, and the portion of Jezreel, and there shall be none to bury her. And he opened the door and fled.
Right, now from there, so the Lord anointed Jehu, right, to bring the judgment on Ahab and Jezebel. Now from there, jump to verse number 22. 2 Kings
22.
chapter 9 verse 22.
22. And it came to pass when Joram saw Jehu that he said, It is peace. Jehu, and he answered, What peace? So long as the whoredom of the mother Jezebel and her witchcraft are so many.
Are so what?
So many.
Hey, that's like these female rappers, right? Look at Cardi B. Well, her music that she's putting out, destroying our sisters in their minds, the young women and the young daughters of Israel in their minds, right? Look at Beyonce, talking about all the single ladies and all of this stuff, stand up, to the left and all of these different songs. But what happened? She's married to Jay-Z. So you portraying to the women to be single, right? But you're married, you got a husband, you're married to Jay-Z. And she practices what? Witchcraft as well, too. And sorcery, same as with Jay-Z with the Freemasons, right? But she got her own following, the beehives, right? Look at Cardi B. Same thing as well with her. There was a video where she was playing her music and I think one of her child was listening and she turned the music off immediately, right? That's part of witchcraft and sorcery. Look at Meg Thee Stallion. Everybody defending her and all of this stuff, but you forget she wicked as hell too. Same as with Clay and them. They all wicked as hell. They all sellouts. But the righteous is supposed to be the one that we're supposed to praise and defend, not the wicked. To hell with the wicked. Look at Sexy Red. All this music they putting out, all this garbage that they're putting out behind with Amalek, that's funding them to destroy our people in their minds. This is all part of witchcraft and sorcery. In the eyes of the Lord, these are all Jezebels. But in the time that we're living in, people want to defend Jezebels instead of praising the daughters of Zion that's moving in righteousness. Khan? A lot of people want to protect harlots. They want to speak up for harlots. But not knowing these are Jezebels. So, Jehu looking like nigga, talking about your moms and protect her. What? All her witchcraft and sorcery, they got to go. They got to go. Right? Read on.
And it came to pass when Jerome saw Jehu that he said, It is peace. Oh, yeah. Jehu,
Nah, keep going, Doc. You got it.
and he answered, "What peace? So long as the whoredoms of thy mother Jezebel and her witchcraft are so many."
That's how the Lord is saying. What peace? So long as these people of our people is destroying our people, leading them astray, tricking them, right? Teaching our women to be whores and dots and all of this stuff, that's wickedness. What peace? There ain't gonna be no peace. They gonna get all the judgment the Lord gonna give them. And we're not supposed to try to stand up and defend them. We're supposed to get the hell out the way. Todd? Read on.
And Jehu drew a bow with his full strength and smote Jeroboam between his arms, and the arrow went out his heart, and he sunk down in his chariot.
So Jehu came and he killed Joram. And Joram was the king for what you call it, for Northern Kingdom. Joram was the king for the Northern Kingdom, and Ahaziah was the king for the Southern Kingdom, which was the son of Athaliah, right? So he killed both. He gonna kill both the Northern and the Southern Kingdom. That was both wicked because they were both tied to the house of Ahab, right? Read on. Slakia. From there, jump all the way down to verse number 30. You know, y'all get a chance, I can read this yourself. But Ahab and Jezebel, they were narcissists. And there was a toxic couple. Ahab was weak and all of this stuff. He know how to manipulate people and everything because he's a king in that position. So he has more right and more authority. Whatever the people say, he'll do. It's like it. Whatever he say, the people will do. Right? But he had a wife that was with him, and she was moving as a demon, and him trying to be a man, he didn't stand up to her and set the order and the foundation and the structure. So now what happened? She running all over him now, and she damn near ruling the kingdom, killing his people, right? And setting up all the rules, and he's allowing all of this to happen. So the Lord said they all got to go. Right? Let's get verse 30 out. Yeah. 2 Kings chapter 9 and verse 30. We're about to close out with this one, King. You there, Ak? God.
Slaki.
Nah, you got it, Ak. Let's close it out strong, King. We got this.
Yeah, I'm at the end though, King.
God.
Yeah, I got work.
All right, God. All right, I got it.
God.
So this is 2 Kings chapter 9 and verse 30. And it says, and when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face and tied her head and looked out at the window. Right? So now what happens? Jehu is coming to bring judgment on Jezebel, right? So when she see Jehu was coming, what happens now? She painted her face, got the makeup going, all of this stuff, tied hair, making her look nice and good. And what is that? That's used as a manipulation tactic, right? She want to look good on the outside, but remember, she's a demon on the inside, right? Because it's all about the perception of the people. And as Jehu entered in at the gate and said, had Zimri peace, who slew his master, right? And he lifted up his face to the window and said, who is on my side? Who? And there looked out to him 2 or 3 eunuchs. And he said, throw her down. So they threw her down, and some of her blood was sprinkled on the wall and on the horses, and he trod her underfoot. So what happened? Jezebel, the men that she had around her, she wasn't going to have men that was going to be austere, men that was going to stand up for the Lord, right? Masculine. Now, society would say toxic masculinity, but you got to keep it real. The Lord said in Chronicles, how you judge a man? By him keeping the commandments of God. So Jezebel had weak men around her that she emasculated. Those were the eunuchs. So she knew who the people that she had around her, right? That wasn't going to stand up or try to fight back against her and all of that stuff. But it said with the 2 or 3 eunuchs, they was able to throw her down onto the damn ground from the roof. Why? Because they was pissed off with her how she was treating them, right? And they thought that because of the power that she had for her being the queen, or quote unquote queen or ruler of Israel, because her husband Ahab was the king and all of that stuff. So now what happens? They're fearful because they have no authority. They have no way of trying to stop what she's doing or even trying to protect themselves. So whatever she say, they got to roll with it. But now they see an opportunity, a man of God who's trying to set everything back in order comes in and willing to fight back against this damn devil, against this damn system, and the destroy and overthrow it. Now the people start to stand up. Now they got courage, right? To go back and fight against this wicked system. So they was like, yo, we gonna throw her ass over down to the damn floor. We sick and tired of her, right? Bullying us and all of this stuff. We know deep down this ain't right. Everything is out of order, right? And now what happens? She's dead. So now Jehu comes into the you could say castle, and he's chilling, he's relaxing. And everything that they said throughout the scripture in the book of 2 Kings with the prophecy that the dog was going to eat of her and turn her into damn bones, that's what happened, right? That was her judgment for being a damn demon, a damn narcissist. And even Ahab got killed already. He was done, right? And this is part of the judgment of the Lord for people that want to be manipulative, want to be deceptive, want to use other people and all of this stuff, want to trick the people and not sincere in the truth. The Lord already watching everything that you're doing, and he's going to bring a judgment on you. And when it happens, you will not see it coming, right? So let me just get one more. Sirach chapter 1. Let's see if everybody can hear me. Shalom, can y'all still hear me? Give me a con 777 if y'all can hear me. Sirach chapter 1. And we're going to close it out with this one. Sirach chapter 1 and verse number 29. It says, be not an hypocrite in the sight of men. Take good heed what thou speakest. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so God discover thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation. Because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit. Right? So I'll leave off with that. All praise Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Hopefully, brothers and sisters was edified by the lesson. Keep the brother Gabar Nawar in prayer as well, too. Here and there, Satan always try to find ways to jack people up and all of that stuff. So like the Lord said, if you following that spirit of a narcissist, be very careful, be on the lookout. Repent and keep the commandments of God and move in sincerity and truth. Don't wait till the Lord gets you and jack you up now because of how deceptive you're moving and deceitful. You're lying to the people and all of this stuff, right? So all things not always how we seem, right? Like the saying goes, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And let's continue to endure, family. Okay? With that, Kwame Ashala, and we'll close out with the Lord's Prayer. God. Good. So yeah, I'm gonna give it at least 30 seconds and let's close out. Well, praise Yahweh Shem Yahushai by Shem Chakadash. Shemai Yasharallah Yahweh Allah Haynawa Yahweh Ahad Abinawa Shabbat Shemayim Kodash Yasham Yahweh Malakufka Tabar Ratzaka Haya Ishaba Ratza Kawahaya Bashemayim Nathanawa Laham Hayuam Wasalachna Wahabuafnawa Kasalachna Wahabuafinawa Wala Tabiainawa Banasaywana Balhawa Shainawa Mayan Rai Kayalaka Hamalakwa for Allah with the Baraf like Walamium. Amen. All praise Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We come to you for mercy, for knowledge as well, for any sins we have committed against you, knowingly, unknowingly. Sins of our forefathers, sins of our foremothers, sins of our ancestors. We come to you as well, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, in these times to watch over us, to guide and protect us, to give us a spirit to endure, give us a spirit to overcome all trials and tribulations, give us a spirit to be strong in our battle against Satan, to put on the full armor of God, to watch over the households of brothers and sisters, nation of Israel, those that we live with as well, throughout the four corners of the earth. Keep the angels around us in our house to protect us, to keep us strong in these last days. Watch over those that are in need, heal those that are sick, heal those that are low in faith, heal those that are low in courage, and also to wake up the gifts and the talents for every brother and sister that you have brought into this truth, Yahweh Shem Shai, to increase the laborers in these times, so we can continue to do this work, so you can speed up the time for the elect's sake, and we get out of our captivity and to watch the destruction of our enemy. Amen. We also come to Yahweh Shem Shai to also bless those that are keeping the Maker Passover, and also the upcoming feast days, and to give us the spirit to endure daily and to be ready for the return of the Messiah. Amen. Khan. And with that, Kwam Yashala. Khan.
Yeah. Shout out to my higher Nawar Yahweh. Shout out to Dark Side for this beat. All praises to my higher Nawar Yahweh, the house of Israel. Put your hands on your heart for your God. We gonna roll with Yahweh. What? He's out higher Nawar. Yeah. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Come on. We gonna roll with Yahweh. Yeah. He's out higher Nawar. What? We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher Nawar. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh. Come on. He's out higher Nawar. Come on. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh, he's out higher now. There's none greater than the God Yahweh. Every day he show us his power, and these storms, man, they devour. He has bodies, man, every hour. Life is sour, but he brings power. And his son, yes, we do honor. He's our father, a mighty father. And you defile us, why even bother? All you wicked ass men that started these powers, but he's the problem solver. Man, these scriptures hit like a revolver. Shrapnel in your face like a bomber. Daughters of Zion, let's go warn her that the Lord God is about to abhor her. Wait, hold up. This is the reason why I'm living, and the reason why I'm even in existence is to please higher Nawar and to show higher Nawar that we have truly repented. Ain't no reason for a brother to come up the camp at the front like he got still. But if a real little brother by the will of the Yahweh, your cap, he might just fail. Wait, hold up. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher Nawar. What? We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Yeah. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher Nawar. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Come on. We gonna roll with Yahweh. Yeah. He's out higher Nawar. Go. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Hallelujah. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher Nawar. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Who the hell said Yahweh ain't real? Don't make a cop back or the steal. Make you clap like you was a seal, or a pig to the slaughter you squeal. Like the devils in the Bible it revealed. White women walk past you like ill. To the devils in the crowd and send chills. Hop back in your post and just peel. White people walk up and they cry, trying to say that the Bible ain't right. But the Bible said the devil gonna fry, and the Bible said the devil is a lie. You should the devil touch the apple of his eye. Coronavirus that you modify. Better scripture that are screaming for the Lord. Angel call upon y'all like a sword. Hold up. This is the reason why I'm living, and the reason why I'm even in existence is to please higher Nawar and to show higher Nawar that we have truly repented. There's no reason for our brother just to come up the camp at the front like he got still. Cause if it's real, then the